Good night, everyone. This is Steve from Comics Asylum Live. I'm here with
Jay. Let me do a retro, man.
yeah. So how's everything?
It can be better, but everything's on the up and up. But there are things that can get us down. But you know what, guys, life moves on, and that's the beautiful thing about life. No matter what, there's always something else to look forward to. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's well said. And that's why we're here. We're here to kind of delve into the things that kind of get us out of the regular grind of our weekly days and our normal lives, and we get to enjoy a little bit of the pop culture goodness that we experienced when we were kids, and get to revel in now that we're all, well, at least I'll speak for myself, grizzled graybeards.
Well, I mean, come on, like we're kindred spirits here, Steve. We're kindred spirits. It's all
Yeah,
good.
same vintage,
All
same vintage. So this is a pretty huge week. New
crazy.
York Comic Con kicks off. I
New
think
York
it's
Comic
tomorrow.
Con kicks off.
Yeah,
If you want to share the screen, we'll go through a couple of
yeah. Let's go because we got
ideas.
we got a lot to go through. It's
We got
it's
a lot to
crazy
go.
already.
We got a lot to go. Yeah, guys. So New York Comic Con is in literally a few hours. I mean, how long we got here, Steve? We got
11 hours.
11 hours, 47 minutes, and 6 seconds.
Get your sleep
Uh,
ready, man. Get your sleep ready.
Guys, get if you haven't already got your tickets, you can still buy them right here on NewYorkComicCon.com. I mean, the guest list is ridiculous,
Mhm.
Steve. Check these out. I mean, the guests of honor, we got Elizabeth Olsen, we got Ella Purnell. Now, she did an
Wow.
amazing job in
Yes.
Fallout.
Yeah.
Wow. Honestly, I did not think. You know what? I gotta say this, Steve. Comic book movies, sorry, not comic book. Video game movies are getting really good. I am
Well,
actually
you know where,
losing
because
my
I
mind.
agree with you. And I think they've learned their lesson. You can't put a video game movie in an hour and a half. You
No,
got to put it into a series because,
exactly.
like, video games are long form anyway.
Yep.
And so, like, when you have 6 episodes, 8 episodes, you can then, and we'll get to Tomb Raider because it's not necessarily that they're succeeding,
Oh boy.
but they're doing it basically like a game, right? Each episode's
Yep.
kind of like a game, and we'll get to that later. And then, so
Yep.
when you go back to Fallout, and I've never played it, but the story's
Oh,
great, and you're
I
able
didn't
to
care.
get
Like,
deep into the characters. The narrative's great, and she
yeah,
was fantastic.
no, 100%. And her acting is just like,
Oh
she
yeah.
plays she plays the naive,
Hmm.
wide-eyed, bushy-tailed, kind of adventurer, who really is not ready for what's out there. But
Yeah.
she perseveres. She learns quickly. You know what I mean? It was a great, for anybody who hasn't seen it yet. It really is a really great series, and violent, very
Oh,
violent, like
oh yeah.
super extremely violent, dealing
Definitely.
with a lot of dark subjects, and has a lot of humor. Like I dare say it's almost like a dark comedy in a lot of ways. You know what I mean? Like Fallout.
Definitely, definitely.
Yeah.
It's got a great tone. It's bright and dark at the same time,
Yep. Yep.
right? Cinematically, the palette's very, very bright. It's got that kind of 50s retro feel to
I
it,
love it.
just like the game.
I
It's
love it.
fantastic.
Yep.
But obviously with the future elements, and then you've got this dystopian kind of darkness
Yeah.
that it just works.
Oh, it does. Absolutely. Then we have Haley Atwell. Man, she's still looking great for her age. I mean, God, just insane. John Boyega, Josh Brolin, Paul Beatty, and again, another Fallout alumni, Walton
Absolutely.
Goggins. He's amazing
Yeah, he's great.
in the show.
And
And he
here's the
plays,
thing too, right? Because he's usually
yeah,
like comedic. He does stuff like, I think it was vice principals and stuff like that, where he's usually like, oh my god, well, I guess McBride. I can't remember his
yep,
first name, but he does a lot of comedy. And when you see him play straight, if not almost gritty, it's a revelation. I,
yeah, it
I,
is.
I really
It
like
is.
him.
Absolutely. What was that Quentin Tarantino film he did where it was him and Samuel L. Jackson stuck in a cabin? Um, I can't remember what
Oh,
it was called.
Hateful Eight.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
great film. It was a whodunit.
definitely.
It was a
Yeah.
whodunit, and it was literally just by you know what? It was like you pit all these different personalities together,
Hmm.
and that was the first time I really saw him do more of a serious role, as you said, right?
Right.
Um, and it was a very touchy subject, but I think he played it well. And yeah, and now he's doing Fallout, so again, really great. Andy Serkis, Orlando Bloom, Lord of the Rings alumni, as well as
Yep.
of course, Andy Serkis, an amazing character actor.
Mhm.
What's it called? The Apes films.
Yes.
Absolutely incredible. And then just a whole host of different
Oh,
special guests and
a who's who
uh,
of comic royalty is there. Up and
you
coming, current superstars, and obviously those who are yet to be discovered. Like the talent. Like I don't know if you've ever been to NYCC, but
no,
it's a
fortunately.
bonkers show. It's like Fan Expo's big, San Diego's big. This one's it's I think it's between Toronto and San Diego,
Mhm.
but because of the majority of the artists being on the East Coast and New York City, man, it's got a different kind of energy.
Absolutely. And the thing is that one of the main reasons why I haven't even thought about going
Oh,
there is
Brian Cox is going to be there.
yeah, yeah,
So cool.
yeah, absolutely. I love I just love him in anything he does pretty much. Like when he was in Troy, uh,
Yes.
he was incredible in Troy, and actually he did a really funny skit in Pixels. I thought that was hilarious. If anybody actually watched that film, I'm not suggesting anybody watches it. I'm just letting everybody know that he's in that film. Um, and check it out, Cal Dodd, a great Canadian actor, and of
That's
course,
right.
the voice of Wolverine, who I did
Absolutely.
not actually know he was in. He actually reprised his role.
Hmm.
I did not know that. That's crazy. Actually, a lot of the actors
Oh yeah,
and
a
actresses
lot of the
reprised.
OG cast came back.
Yeah, it was amazing. And this list just keeps going on and on. Like it's like a huge list. And again, as you said, a lot of comic books. And this is the thing about this Comic Con. It's actually a Comic Con. You know what I mean? I think we were talking about the other day. Where a lot of the Comic Cons right now are more like pop culture shows,
Hmm.
right? Whereas this
Is that
one actually,
Danny Elfman? Wow.
oh, where
If
really?
you go down, Danny
Oh,
Elfman's
there,
there.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Holy crap! Beetlejuice,
I would not have thought.
Batman.
That's like having John Williams show up at a
Yeah, yeah,
Comic Con.
absolutely. Beetlejuice, Batman,
Yeah,
a whole like a host of different
definitely.
sound scores.
Hmm.
Musical scores, just incredible. Yeah, and look, David Harbour, you know what I mean? Like
Wow.
that guy's
Here we go.
he's Hellboy, Stranger Things, you know what I mean? Like
Yep, and he's going to
crazy.
be in what do you call it? Thunder.
Oh
What's that
yeah, that's right.
movie?
The Thunderbolts.
Thunderbolts. That's it.
Yeah, yeah. So again, reprising his role once again as
Hmm.
um what was he
Red
again?
Guardian.
Red
Is that
Guardian,
what it's
that's
called?
right, Red
Yeah.
Guardian, and reuniting with Puig,
Yes.
who's his daughter, right? So
Yeah. Yeah.
in the
She's
film.
great. She's a great
Oh
actress.
yeah, she's a lot of fun. Denise Richards, what? Holy
What?
crap!
What?
There's a blast from the past.
Former Bond girl.
Oh my god,
Yeah. Wow.
that's
Okay.
crazy. If that's a recent picture, she's looking great. Holy crap! You know what? Let's just take a quick peek. I doubt that's probably a glam shot. Let's see.
I'm sure they're glam shots for
That's got
sure.
to be a glam shot, but you know what? She's holding up.
She's got the power of Hollywood, man. So
Oh, is that Botox? What is she doing there?
oh, it looks like dermal abrasion.
Okay, all
There
right.
we go.
Well, she's doing the upkeep.
Hey man,
Um,
their job is to look good, right? It's
yeah.
like LeBron working
Holy
out.
freaking- she looks amazing. What are you for?
Yeah.
I mean, she's got hair all over her face, but that dang,
Yeah.
she's keeping it up. Holy crap! Yeah, for sure. I would peg her for 40 or early 40, like early to mid 40s, and she's
That's a
not.
good question. I have no idea how old she is.
Good for
I have
her.
yeah,
Yeah,
I have no idea how old she
yeah,
would
man,
be.
like absolutely. But she's older than 40. I'll tell you that much right now.
Yeah.
Wow, Dina Meyer
There
from
we
Starship
go.
Troopers.
Starship
Oh
Troopers.
my God,
That's right.
Johnny Mnemonic.
Yep. Remember
Saw.
that? Yep.
Wow, crazy. That's a lot of great celebrities coming. Eli
Eli
Roth.
Roth.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah, some really good stuff. But yeah, guys, if you are in the
Eric
New
Larson.
York Comic Con, sorry, in the New York area, and you're not, spending $600 an evening to be there, freaking hotel rooms, U.S. by the way,
Yes.
Francis Manipul, there's the man.
There's
There's
Francis.
the
That's
man.
right. Frank
Francis is
Miller's going to
there.
be there. I
That's
think that's
right.
Frank Cho.
Yeah, Frank
Yeah.
Grillo,
Frank
Franco.
Grillo.
Yep.
Yeah.
Frank.
Crossbones.
Oh, Frank Cho. Yeah, you're right. Hey, Freddie Williams the second,
There we
absolute
go.
legend, man. Freddie Prince Jr. Wow,
Hmm.
man, some really blasts from the past here, guys. There's something for everybody. Absolutely. Like I think a lot of people are gonna have fun at the con. Jeff Isherwood. Wow.
That's
Holy
right.
crap.
Jeff
Um,
Johns.
yeah.
You know what I really like about this though? the fact that their celebrities and comic book talent
Yep.
are in the same like block.
Yeah, they're on the level.
Attendees.
They're on the same level, 100%.
Right? It's not where it's like these are the comic people and these are the comic book people and these are the voice actors. It's like these are who's coming. Yep. Look at that. James Gunn's gonna be there.
Yeah, Jacob Phillips, Jay Lee, Jamie Alexander. Wow, that's crazy.
There we go.
James
Lady
Gunn
Seth.
you just said that James Gunn is going to be there. Crazy.
Maybe we'll get some more crypto news because I know they posted an image of crypto Superman.
There's going to be a ton of announcements and a ton of reveals.
The news in the next few days are going to be insane.
Jason Lee's going to be there too. That's freaking crazy. Yeah, and Jason Mewes. Yeah, so obviously, what's his name has to be there too, right? Well, maybe not, but
they just had a con. I think they had like Chronic Con or something.
They have so many cons. Yeah, that's right, Kevin Smith. I was searching for it, but didn't actually land. But yeah, guys, a lot of great artists, a lot of great actors and performers, and just
wrestlers, like
amazing
the
talent.
whole gamut.
Amazing talent to go all around, guys. So definitely, if you're thinking about popping into New York Comic Con, you're spoiled for choice. There's a lot of stuff to that you guys can enjoy. Absolutely incredible. And of course, there's the Artist Alley, which Steve of course has a lot of experience in, exhibitors, show specials, and writers. It's a crazy place to be. And again, very, very heavily comic focused, which I really enjoy. I think it's something that's been sorely missing from most of these pop culture cons. And then of course there's exclusives, tons and tons of exclusives. And of course, earlier today I posted that Mondo will actually be there with their Master Universe Faker exclusive, and a lot of people are going to be on bated breath to pick that up. And Plastic Empire is going to be there with some sort of Masters of the Universe inspired Bearlies, looking a lot of fun. They even got a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles inspired Bearlies. Wow. Yeah, a lot of great stuff going on. So, guys, definitely check out the exclusives. You can actually start buying these right now, even though the launch is for tomorrow. And even like playing cards. Trading cards too. Are
those Comic-Con exclusives?
I believe they are. These ones are the Comic-Con exclusives.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's Aaron Judge, King of New York, limited edition print. Oh, it's an art print.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought these were actually cards, but this one sort of looks like a card, but it's
I'm sure they're using the card as the design.
Yep. But this one's a collectible card right here, right?
Okay.
That's a collector's card, right? Francis Lindor. We got some really heavy hitters right here.
Well, Yankees and Mets are in the playoffs, right? So
yes,
there could be another Subway Series. So
they're hoping, but honestly, the Mets are they're making it an interesting one. I got to tell you, like they're always on the edge of elimination. Then somehow they just pull it out of their asses. It's crazy.
Yeah, they're in tough, man. The Dodgers are just they're absolutely stacked. Money was no object for them.
I mean, come on. They got the greatest player in baseball right now. Like it's ridiculous. It's insane.
Arguably of all time, if he keeps along this trajectory in terms
of he does, yeah. I mean,
he's able to play both sides of the fence. Yeah.
Oh gosh, pitching, hitting, anything he wants to do, right? And I mean, he's broken multiple records over the past 3 weeks. It's insane, right? So anyway, it's gonna be great, guys. If you're heading to New York Comic Con, send us some photos. Come on, make sure to bring us some actual evidence that you were there. We would love to see it. This is going to be a lot of fun.
For sure.
Just crazy.
So
wow, we got a lot of comments.
We got some great comments.
Yeah,
and then we're gonna hit some comments, and then I want to dig back into some of the exclusives or first looks that we were able to get from McFarlane.
Absolutely.
So. We have Grizzlehorn. I want to go to NYCC. Yeah, you and I both.
Oh man, we all do. It's great. Finding housing is the problem. Like without buying a mortgage yourself.
Exactly. Boyd Crowder. That's his name from Justified.
Ah, there it is. Yeah. Boyd Crowder. There you go. That's what we were looking for.
Hold on a second. So Damien Ristori, as a 4-year-old in '84, my most rewatched Superman moment was the helicopter scene with Fab theme. Yeah, for sure. So with Reeves coming, A prop helicopter is on my radar. That's it.
Mhm.
That's it. That's a good point.
100%.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. What was his line? I've got you, ma'am. And then Margot Kidder goes, well, who's got you? You've got
Yeah.
me. Who's got you? Kind of thing. Yeah.
That was what it was. I watched it 2 weekends ago. It was crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. It's still those movies. The first two still hold up.
Yep.
Yes, he was an X2 villain. That's, I guess, Brian Cox as well.
Oh, he was? Huh.
Yeah, he was Stryker.
He was Stryker.
He was
I didn't know that.
Stryker, and then I think he
Yes,
also
he was Stryker. That's
Yeah.
true. That's
Yeah.
true. Yeah,
Yeah.
great. Again, really great performances by him. It's crazy.
hmm
Yeah, Frankie Rivera's in the house. Good to see you, Kenzo. Badwill Customs.
Yeah,
Nolan?
Nolan says the Marshall family arrived today, and have to say he was worth the wait.
Very, very cool. Brave Star from
Yes.
from Ramen Toy. Very, very cool. Emperor Shao Kahn is in the house. What's going on, brother? Comics
Doing
Asylum. Who's
great.
that?
Nolan, and I'll be 45 years old in a few days. Happy birthday!
You guys
in
are so
advance.
young. You guys are so young. It's crazy.
Absolutely.
Altedna's channel's in the house. Grizzlehorn, good to see you.
Skeletor. Hello, Jay, Steve, and chat from Snake Mountain, you buffoons.
Good to see you, Skelly.
Absolutely. Welcome.
Damien, Sci-Fi George, good to see you guys.
Hi, Skeletor. Do you still employ the ghost in the dungeon? Well, it's a Halloween season, so why not?
It is. Why not? Addy Boy. Hey, Addy Boy found an amazing little piece of Master Universe history, and I did an interview with him. We'll definitely be checking out his channel, guys. He's amazing in finding some amazing vintage stuff in the wild.
Okay, wow, that'd be great to see. So let's check out. McFarlane's been busy, and he's using New York Comic Con for tons of announcements.
Absolutely.
Let's hit with the Reeve thing, but then I saw that he dropped a vehicle not too long ago.
Yep.
From Batman Beyond.
It just showed up. It showed up at Walmart for sale, which was crazy. And is. Yeah. It showed up. I think it was an error. It was just a mistake.
Someone put it on the website too soon.
Yeah, somebody but they took it down pretty quick. So a few people I think were able to order it, but it's the Batwing, right?
Yeah, from Batman Beyond.
Yeah. It is pretty amazing. And a lot of people are very, very excited about it. I'm trying to find those photos, but I do have the Superman stuff we can take a look at.
I'll pop up the
sure.
I at least have one image of the Bat vehicle. But this 78 collector's edition, it's pretty mint. Like it's popping.
Yep. Our good friends over at Toy Habits got a lot of these photos, and we definitely want to give them a shout out. Give them a like and a follow, guys. Tell them that Comics Asylum sent us. Yeah, man, this is just bonkers. I do have to say there are things I like about it, and then there are some things which I'm a little bit critical about.
Let's start with the things that you're like, okay, this is fire.
All right, let's talk about fire. This is one of the best head sculpts, bar none, that McFarlane has done, because McFarlane is not very good at head sculpts, especially with likenesses in the past. The entire Justice League likenesses were questionable. This one, I have to say, is pretty freaking close. I love the curl in the hair. I love that. I love the twinkle in the eye. He just looks so chiseled, the small cleft he's got in his chin. Honestly, everything about this facially is pretty good.
Like his brow and everything, like it just is so reminiscent.
Yeah, is it the best? No, but it's way better than any other McFarlane figure I've seen in a long time. So very, very good. And someone mentioned this to me earlier. McFarlane's gone soft goods crazy. Like he's basically including soft good capes with almost every DC multiverse figure.
Are those soft good trunks too?
Yeah, those. Wait a second. No, actually,
no.
Yeah, those are plastic. Those are plastic.
Right.
Yeah, but still, it's I wouldn't have put it past him to do that. The articulation is all there. He's obviously it's the straight up McFarlane articulation. He's got a leaner build, which is
Yeah,
exactly the way Christopher
Reeves.
Reeves
Yeah, he
was
was.
during that time. The only thing I think a lot of people are probably going to point at is these days, toy collectors are looking for pinless joints, pinless elbows. So
Yes.
that's something which McFarlane's still dealing with in a lot of ways. But I think all the articulation is there, and the colors are right. I think the colors are spot on. I think that they nailed it, and but then there are a couple of other things. But what do you love about this figure so far, Steve?
You know what? I love not only the head sculpt,
Yep.
but it actually reminds me of like the proportions and everything just seemed to be right. And it
Yep.
reminds me of like when I was a kid looking at the posters
Yep.
of him in New York City, like in front of the Hudson River pointing up into the air and stuff.
Mhm.
And then it also reminds me of, because I had one of these, was the 12-inch, I think it was the Mego dolls or whatever,
Yes, Migo. Yep. Yep.
right?
Absolutely.
Where it was like soft goods, like his entire suit was
All soft goods. Yeah.
all cloth
All
and everything
fabric.
like that.
Yep.
And the cape was probably the only suspect part.
Yep.
But this reminds me almost as like an updated version of those dolls from like 1980 or whatever, 79, whenever I would have bought mine. So I do like it.
Yep. I'm really, really looking forward to this. He's gonna be hard to find. If you don't pre-order him on the first day, I think finding him in the wild, it's gonna be Scalper City with this version of Superman for sure.
Right.
So everybody, make sure that you are on the pre-order button as quickly as you can. I believe that Walmart CollectorCon is probably going to be a fast place to pick him up. After that, it definitely is going to be a hopefully. I don't. Somebody can correct me in the comment section, but I'm not sure if he's a CollectorCon exclusive. I'm hoping not, and I'm hoping it's not a Walmart exclusive because that would really suck. But we'll see what happens when people start looking for him. On to the cons. There are some things which kind of bug me a little bit. First of all, they could have done a little bit better
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
the S. The S is, I don't know, man. Like, I don't understand. It's a print, right? How hard is it to get a print done? And then I get it. It's a production thing, but I mean, come on. There's a bleed
Yes, the
coming
bleed.
right off the S. I don't know what's going on with this outline. It just looks a little sloppy to me. I don't know. I
Well,
mean,
there's bleed even with the blue
yes,
onto the red because
yeah,
basically it's purple.
I know. I can foresee a lot of people just taking an alcohol swab to this, literally removing this and reapplying their own S on this. Which, you know what? Kudos to you, because this looks a pretty weak. This looks like weak sauce to me. Honestly, this is probably the weakest thing out of the entire character, bar none. Okay, that's the first thing I think I gotta say. Now, I'm with you, Steve. I do see a lot of Christopher Reeves here, but, and I will say it this way, I think that they needed a little bit broader shoulders, because if you actually look at Christopher Reeves,
Yeah,
he's actually
he's yeah.
act, man. The dude. One thing about, if you watch a lot of the documentaries and everything like that, this is all like I'll quote.
I know where you're going with this.
Oh yeah, you know where I'm going with this. I'm gonna quote Adam West. It's all West.
Yeah,
Right.
this was all Reeve.
There's no
This was
padding.
all Reeve. Yeah.
There's no padding. It was all West. Right. I mean, seriously, this is all Christopher Reeve. It literally is just spandex. Like, you actually watch him go to the gym every day on a lot of these documentaries. He was, look at his neck. I mean, his neck is, oh, this guy's just crazy.
And these were in the days, like, this is like pre-Arnold, right? Like, Arnold was just kind of coming into it, where this was a super athletic build.
Absolutely.
Like,
and I'll be honest with you, as much as we like the Brutes and Babes look of the mid 80s and early 90s, I think that this, in terms of like his overall screen value, I think that this was the right choice.
Well, I'm going to add one other thing.
Sure.
This physique makes Clark believable.
Yes, exactly.
Right?
Again,
when you're too jacked, it makes your Clark you kind of go sideways. Like,
It's
Lois
true.
is even more out of it than you would have
Yeah,
thought, with Clark
yeah,
being this jacked,
yeah.
and you're
I
not
totally
going,
get it. Yeah, because uh, I can't remember which series it was. Um, I think it was Tomorrow Superman. I think it was. I think that's the one it was where Superman was dying. He just went into the sun and
Oh,
got
right,
overcharged.
right, yeah,
Um, and I remember there was a scene with Lex Luthor, and Lex was like, for whatever reason, he was like jacked, right? And
hmm
there's a scene where he has an interview with Clark Kent, and he literally walks over to to Kent, and he's like, look at you, you're a farm boy. Look at the size of you, right? But of course, he's got his
the
shoulders
hunch,
over, he's
yeah,
hunchback, pretending to be, well, in a lot of ways, he is actually Clark Kent, right? That's
yes,
actually some of his demeanor. But it's just you look at him, he's like, this guy's a monster. You know what I mean? He's an absolute
yeah,
beast. So yeah, no, totally. I totally get where you're coming from, and yeah, I totally agree. But he's physically strong. You can really see that, and
yes,
um, I see a lot of that, but I think a little bit more in the chest. You know
yeah. I
what I
was just
mean?
gonna say, you lose the chest. The chest
Yeah,
is
a
he's a
little bit,
little
right?
cave.
And of
Yeah,
course
yeah.
the butterfly joints. Um, Shartimus Prime, and um, who else? Eamon O'Donoghue. A lot of us do actually say a lot of this thing. Sometimes aesthetics count for a lot. If you have an action figure who, for just because they need to have articulation, I mean, what does Superman do? He goes like this, you know what I mean? And he
Yeah,
sometimes sometimes he'll have to grab something or hold something, but he doesn't need to swing a baseball bat. He doesn't need to like bring his arm. You know what I
you
mean?
don't
Like
you don't you don't need Spider-Man posability.
no, you don't need that. He's not that kind of
Yeah,
hero, right? He
yeah.
literally is just he's like bang, like he just
Mhm.
stops objects with his hands. I mean, come on. He
Yeah,
he unless he's fighting Zod or some, somebody along his level. But even then, you can still get a nice punch, you know what I mean? Like I
yeah.
think that's something that a lot of figure enthusiasts, especially like action figure, literally putting the action in the figure. I get it, but sometimes aesthetics counts for a lot in my opinion. Anyway, yeah, I think those are the two biggest ones, and then of course I think the sloppiness of these might be paint masters. I think
I'm
that's
sure they
something.
are.
Yeah, I think that's probably what these are. I think these are probably early paint masters, and they were just getting out for the glam shots.
Yeah.
But I really am hoping that the final product is a little bit better. There's also something going on with the boots which I don't understand. Um, what is that? Like that is not
No, no, because
literally.
no, because the boots are supposed to be smooth.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know what. I
There
don't know
there
if
no
I don't know
mark
if it's
there's
a
no
cut.
marking or ribbing or anything like that on
Yeah,
any of the boots.
I don't know if it's a cut because of the articulation, but that something's going on there which doesn't make any sense to me. And it's it just travels down the leg. Um, and then there's obviously it's a joint, but it looks like a like a robot's leg. I
Yeah,
don't know.
like a
There are a
rivet.
couple, there are a couple of things which are going on here, but I'm just gonna chalk it up to early prototyping and paint masters. I think that's what we're gonna have to default to. But those are the cons. The other thing, which I think some people were very, um,
Oh, question. Can I just jump in here for a second?
sure, sure. Maybe you're probably going to say what I was about to say, but go ahead.
Do they have a yellow cape, a yellow
See,
S on the
that's
back?
exactly you. See, you and I are literally on the ball. There's the thing. A lot of us, I think, are wondering. Oh, and check it out. There's a second head sculpt. I did not even see that. That is cool.
That is cool.
Yeah. See, so this is the Christopher Reeves head, and this is a Christopher Reeves head, but is with a slightly different hairstyle, maybe a
The
little
hair's
bit
a little bit more.
older.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
almost looks like it's Superman 2
Yeah. Yeah.
with because
I
the hair
think
is
so.
slightly different.
Yeah, and he also comes with the crystal that is not a piece
Oh,
of
there we
kryptonite.
go.
That is
Yeah,
not a piece of kryptonite, everybody. That's not a
yeah.
piece of kryptonite. That is the control crystal for the Fortress of Solitude.
Solitude. That's
Just
right.
beautiful, wonderful callbacks to the show, to the movie. He's got his flying hands. He's got his. I don't know if Lois Lane is going to be made, but he's got his
Wow.
holding Lois with
Wow.
only at the fingertips. I remember watching that scene. I was like, "Are you an idiot? You're gonna drop her. Like, I don't care how
Yeah.
strong you are. You're gonna freaking drop her."
Well, she's like a paperweight
Yeah,
considering his strength.
I know, but he was able to hold her with like a tiny little, like either you
Mhm.
crush your fingers or something else happens. But um, I like the idea that they always try to pose characters in unique posing in the box. So in box collectors,
Yeah.
can have something to enjoy.
That's
Um,
similar to the pose on the poster, like one of his iconic poster
yep,
poses.
exactly. It would have been nice to actually tilt his head back, but I think they wanted to be able to show his
Yeah.
overall head sculpt. Um, this is the McFarlane Collector's Edition, which is not a gold label. That'll come later, but really great to see this version of Superman. Now there it is. By the way,
There we go.
there it is.
Okay.
Now,
Is that an
I do.
iron-on?
I'm not sure. It could be. It could be an actual decal with. And I think you're right. I think it is actually a fabric deco, which is nice. And I dare say this is way better than the one in the front.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
the telltale is the serif. That is
Mhm.
something I always, as a kid, loved to see the actual serif portion of the S, and it's not as pronounced on the other side, but I could live with that, right?
Yeah.
And I have to say they did actually do a good job because there actually is a black outline
Mhm.
on the yellow S on the back of Superman's cape. So bravo, that's a wonderful touch because they actually did forget that in the Superpowers series. He does not actually have his yellow S on the Superpowers collection. So yeah, that again, they're. I think that they knew that if they didn't get if they had screwed that one up, people were going to call bloody murder, and
Right.
this is another thing with double elbows and double knees. You get this weird little gappy things. There's again your suspension of disbelief really starts to wane on you. But I think you're right. It is some sort of fabric iron on. I believe so anyway, and that's a wonderful touch. I think it's great. And the fabric itself is actually not so sheen. It's got a little thickness to it, which is
Mhm.
very different from most of the capes that are out there in today's markets. So, and dare I say, Steve, that
His
this actually
silhouette, though, that
yes,
silhouette from behind,
yes,
that's Chris Reeve.
yes. I was gonna. We're on the same train, 100%. I literally do say if I saw this, I would say that's Christopher Reeves.
Yeah.
That's freaking awesome, and I love that. Bravo to
Yeah.
McFarlane for
They
nailing
did a
that
good job.
portion. I 100%. And of course, again, looking at Superman, are we on an anniversary right now? I believe we are, right?
Well, I'm not
Um,
sure if we have an anniversary, but I know there's a movie on Christopher Reeve,
yes,
that
you believe
chronicles
the
not
man
only
can
his
fly.
time as Superman, but also after he got injured
Mhm.
in the riding accident, and I think it's in theaters right now.
Yeah. It's going to be a great look at a legend in his own right,
Mhm.
and honestly, this is a dream come true for a lot of collectors, and I fully expect that we're also going to see um, other releases from Mezco and probably SH Figure Arts and a whole bunch of different um, companies who want to take advantage of this. Hot Toys did have a number of releases for Christopher Reeve Superman, so if you guys want to take a look at those are a different league altogether.
Yes. Yeah.
However, I will say that it was early on in the Hot Toys catalog, and it's not quite as accurate as it is today. So, an update to Christopher Reeve Superman is probably well overdue at this point. So, a lot of stuff, a lot of exciting stuff coming up for McFarlane. As a matter of fact, I don't
What?
think
But
I have these.
before you move away from there, you said that this is the silver edition,
No, this is the McFarlane Collector's Edition.
McFarlane Collector's Edition.
Yeah.
So, will there be one like an edition higher than this, or
Yes, there's probably going to be a gold label eventually.
okay? So, what would that
McFarlane,
entail?
yeah, McFarlane is very, very much on the comic book model, right? He
Right.
he loves doing platinum editions, silver. This is what
Right.
I would consider a silver edition. So this is
Okay.
like a silver edition. There's a gold edition, and then there's platinum edition. More than likely, it'll be a slightly different, maybe a different head sculpt that he often does that. He'll probably have possibly even a black suit Superman. That's a very big possibility. The what if
Mhm.
type of ideas, and probably there will be also a battle damage version. So he'll have a lot of battle
Okay.
deco.
Do you
Not
think? Do you think he might do the evil persona
yes,
Superman from
exactly.
Superman 4
Superman 3.
or
Superman 3.
3? That's
Yeah.
right. That's what the bad kryptonite.
Yeah. Superman
Yeah.
3. It was Richard Pryor. So
Yeah.
yes, probably the darker suit, right? The 5 o'clock
Mhm.
shadow.
Yes.
What? Slightly actually tan skin.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would definitely and all the red was like, it was more like burgundy
Yeah,
than it
everything was
was
muted.
actual bright red. Yes, it was like
Yeah.
all colors were crushed, and
Mhm.
definitely, I believe, absolutely 100%. I believe that's probably going to be a platinum edition. Going forward, that'll be amazing. And then of course, Clark Kent will eventually make an appearance, and that often tends to be a gold edition as well.
Right.
So I think that'll be a lot of fun. So
I
yeah,
hope he
that's
comes with a fedora.
yeah, exactly. His little hat, his little his coat, his overcoat, which he
Yes,
hold
that's
by
right.
his
The London
hand.
fog
Yeah,
trench.
and he's got the suitcase, the actual
Yes.
signature suitcase that he always hobbles around, and of course his glasses. Can't be
Mhm.
Clark Kent without your glasses. So
No, definitely.
great stuff. Yeah, very excited for this release, and of course, taking a first glimpse at Superman from McFarlane Toys. So
You know
awesome
what?
stuff.
I'm just gonna dive into a couple of the comments here.
Sure.
Skeletor says, "For once, they nailed a face sculpt."
Very close. Much better
Yeah.
than they've ever done. So yes, absolutely. I totally agree.
Bad Wolf custom airbrushing and decals. That's a J curl.
It's a J curl. It's true. It's so true. It's like
Yeah.
you gotta twing.
I wonder what the platinum version could look like, Jay. And we just touched on
Yeah,
some of
we,
those.
we
Thanks,
touched on it.
Damien.
We touched on it. I'm thinking maybe either the evil Superman or Clark Kent.
Yeah. Cooler O'Connor. That soups is amazing. I hope it's not super hard to find. Well, that will be,
That will be the hard one. Yeah,
yeah, for
scalper
sure.
special. Scalper special.
Nolan, I need this Superman to go with Keaton Batman.
I think you're probably talking about what's it called? Mezco.
Yeah.
Because that one was unsurpassed. Like McFarlane has not done. I mean, he's done the Keaton Batman, but he's still not quite there.
Right. Bad Wolf Custom. Why the pins still? So for the uninitiated like myself, what would be what would be the difference in design to not have pins that
Let me
other
see if I
companies
can-
are doing?
Sure. Let me see. Let me show you. I guess this would probably be a good example. So here's Master Universe He-Man, and if you look closely, he doesn't have any pins.
That's
Right?
right.
There's
It's
pinless.
like a lever inside.
Yep. Yep. The pins are actually on the inner portion of the figure, not you don't see two circles. You know what I mean? And that's a big thing for a lot of collectors in this day and age. A lot of people
Hmm.
are all about the pinless elbows and pinless knees. So there's still cuts. You can see them,
Yes.
but when you
Yeah.
come around, you don't see these two gigantic circles anywhere, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. They're just like wedges that fit into each other.
yeah, I think a good example of that um, would be, I suppose, it would be nope. See, okay, so here's a little bit of a mix. So here we have pinless arms. No, actually,
Hmm.
no. There's the
No,
pin.
there's a pin. It's
Yep,
it's
there's the
just a
pin.
higher up.
Yep, that's the
Yeah.
pin, right? And it's right there too, right?
But I like how those pins are because they don't seem to be obtrusive.
Yep, and that's something that it really depends on which one you get, but it can and it can't be. But when you look at it straight on, it's almost as if they're not there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And even if you move the design really dictates, what you're looking at. So, again,
Right.
there are multiple trains of thought on it, but a lot of collectors these days, especially people who are very much into posing their figures, really want to see pinless elbows and pinless knees. So
Right.
that's where that goes.
We need Gene Hackman's Lex Luthor. Yeah, that would be good.
We do. Where'd you go, Steve?
Oh, that's right. I'll come back. There we go.
Absolutely, 100%. Honestly, if you guys like Ready Player One, there's an amazing quote by Gene Hackman saying that some can read, some can discover can read War and Peace and come off of it as just a simple war story,
Yeah.
a simple story, whereas other people can read the ingredients on a chewing gum wrapper and unlock the secrets of the universe. It was a great line. The writing was amazing, incredible.
Yeah, Ready Player's great.
Oh yeah, love it.
Skeletor, that blue is spot on.
It is. I believe it is the right cyan, 100%.
I love this. Still buying 3.
You
Bad Wolf
scalper,
custom.
you scalper. But I know you're gonna customize. I get it.
Right. General Zod trio from Damien. That would be interesting.
Yep. Nog. Ursa and Zod himself. That would be amazing.
Frankie Rivera, man, super excited for Reeve. Never got the NECA, so I need this, but can't wait for comic book Reeve.
Yep, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah,
very excited.
Frankie again. I think with the extra head sculpt, we might be getting Evil Superman. Yeah,
it's a good guess. It's a good guess. You know, the 5 o'clock shadow. You know, a darker skin.
All right. Bad Wolf says the con segued a bit. And Sci-Fi George, the only thing I hated about Mego Superman and Batman symbols were that they were stickers and fell off after a bit. Yeah. Yep. I think the face is okay, but the nose seems off. The Mezco Cal is great.
Yeah, no, Mezco's been in the game a long time, right? So, like, you know, it's and it does happen, you know.
Definitely. Yes, All-Star Superman, Sci-Fi George, you're correct, right? Morrison and Frank Quitely.
Yes. Yeah, I was close.
Yeah, that's a seminal story, man.
Yeah, awesome. You know, another Elseworld and What If story. But you know what? He protected Earth until the very end. So it was spoilers.
Yes. Yeah. Let me see here. Mother Slug, Superman's worst enemy is magic.
It is. We mentioned that. We mentioned that if you caught our discussion on Kingdom Come,
yes,
we talked a lot about magic and Superman and his weaknesses.
Shazam, or right? Captain Marvel, however you want to call him.
Yep, and of course, Themyscira, I guess they're calling it now, right?
Yes,
Paradise Island. Right.
Yes, yeah. I was watching old Wonder Woman, like the Linda Carter episodes. I caught one of those just flipping through the channels, and it's like, yeah, different time, different nomenclature. Skeletor, those cuffs on the wrist look super weird. They kind of do, and I actually almost thought it was like the new suit, because you know how he's got those kind of like those little bands on the new suit.
So they're not really cuffs, obviously. They are they're articulation joints. But I think what you might be meaning is the little lip that's next to the bottom part of the thing. I think it's just an overall choice, an overall sculpting choice. And yeah, I mean, but what are you going to do if you want that? If people are asking for that level of articulation, right? Like they want to be able to go fishing. I don't know, but I mean, that's that. If that's what people want, then how else are you going to bring it to them, right? It's a difficult decision at that point,
for sure. Daniel Benjamin Messer. Yep, Todd was so close, but like usual, still missed the mark on Reeves Superman. I also think too, because he's so beloved,
I know
that everyone's gonna find something that's slightly off because you know you're striving almost for perfection. Like for me, like I love Henry Cavill and all the other actors that have been Superman in the past and will come down the pipe. But for me, that's Chris Reeves is my Superman.
Yeah,
the look, the portrayal, everything.
Yeah, it's just we who grew up on that time. You know, as campy as they seem today, you can still watch it and still enjoy it on a level, you know, with believability, right? And it's just even the overall character himself. He is that blue Boy Scout that cannot be tainted. You know what I mean? And he didn't face it's funny because a lot of people are talking about how Man of Steel is, you know, it was a terrible Superman movie because blah, blah, blah. You know, he let things explode. And how can you not? I mean, you're dealing with superpowered beings who are just as fast and just as strong as you. And you're one person versus like 16 guys. Like something's got to give, right? Whereas this Superman, he was, again, he thought with his brain, you know, he was able to figure something out. And even his Zod was a little bit more
calculating.
Calculating, yes, but at the same time, he was too arrogant in his own superiority to really.
Terrence Stamp, man, got to give him his props.
That's right.
Yeah. So J-Man is in the chat. Thanks for coming in, and he's giving me some heat. Superman 3, Steve, come on. Yeah, absolutely. I was off by one.
Oh my god.
What was the villain in 4? Was that Meteor Man or whatever?
It was Nuclear Man.
Nuclear Man. That's right. Meteor Man, I think, was Robert Townsend. Different movie. Yeah. Do you want to hop into? I'm gonna get roasted again. But that's fine. I'm having seniors moments right now. Let's hop into some more McFarlane stuff.
Sure.
Do you have the whatchamacallit, the Batwing? Do you have it?
No, I think
All
you
right.
said you had the photo for the
All
Batwing,
right. So
and
I'll pull it up.
um,
So there we go. So this is the Batmobile from Batman Beyond. It pre-launches tomorrow for pre-order. Two options: Batmobile and Batman and Beyond Gold Look Label, which is a 2-pack on Walmart.com, and the McFarlane Toys store. The Batmobile Solo Pack is exclusively on Amazon. And is there a figure in there? I can't quite tell.
I think it does come with a I think it's Terry, or it's possibly
McGinnis, right?
Yeah, it's either McGinnis or it's possibly Bruce just before he quit.
Right.
It's one of those two.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure somebody in the comment section will let us know. Comics legend, yes, Miss Tessmacher. We definitely have to get Miss Tessmacher, 100%. It's the very last comment. The very last comment. Comics legend, Miss Tessmacher.
Absolutely. That was a classic line.
100%.
For sure.
And of course, she was a double agent. You know, she would do good things and do bad things at the same time. Great stuff.
Well, you know, she was just bad because of who she was hanging with. That's not necessarily her core character.
She asked the question. She said, "Why can't I fall for the good guys?" Right? So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Padre, late in joining. Did you already talk about SilverHawks? What news is related to them? That's coming up quite soon. We just got a couple more that we'd like to show you for the McFarlane stuff, and then we have Otisberg. Yeah, who can forget?
Oh, Otisberg,
like the hench of all henches, Otis.
Otis is awesome. Honestly, he really made the show, and it was interesting because at the time that actor wasn't really known for comedy. He was actually
Ned Beatty. He was in Deliverance. Yep. And you know, if you have a certain vintage, that movie's a rough watch if you saw it, especially for that time. And so for him to, especially what happened to that character that he was portraying in that film, and then have that you know, portrayal as Otis later on, you know, it's kind of one of those things where it helped you forget, if like, as opposed to being typecast, it helped you forget his performance in Deliverance, because those are one of those things that, depending on the role, especially back then, you can kind of, definitely Squeal Like a Pig was definitely it. And it's one of those ones where that can stick with you and with casting agents. So just shows you how good he is. And then you look at him in later films and you're like, that's Otis, because he can play a mean SOB too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Ned Beatty was great.
He was in correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't he in Gangs of New York? I thought I saw him as one of the street bosses.
That's a good question. I'm not sure. It's possible, but I'm not sure.
I could be wrong.
Yeah.
If you want to bring the Batwing back up, I just wanted to mention a couple of things. If anybody actually purchased the latest Batmobile, the number, I think there are like 5 of them now, but the Batman Returns Batmobile, this, I think, it's going to be along the same lines. I don't think it's going to be nearly as big as either of those, but it does look nice. Actually, you know what? On these glam shots are always tough to really make a final decision on the way they look. I'm going to bring up really quickly. I think Micah sent me. All right, so let me. Crap! Hold on. Let me just. There we go. Now this one's a little bit fuzzy, but let's try to ignore that. So let me share my screen again, Steve. So here was one of the photos that actually got. It was actually leaked online. So come on, share.
There we go.
So
you're gonna have to pump it up.
Yeah. So this is actually what it's probably going to look like, and as you can see, I believe it is actually Bruce. I believe it's the final Bruce before he at the beginning of the series you actually see him retire, right?
Mhm.
And I think that that's actually who this is supposed to be. So as you can see, it's nowhere near the size of any of the Batmobiles right now. It's a very sleek vehicle, but I actually do like the overall design. Actually, and you know what? I dare say, if you don't really fall too much into canon, this could definitely double as some sort of Star Wars speeder. A dark Sith speeder. I think
Right.
it gives off those type of vibes. I mean, it's got the red visor, it's got the the hover, and I love the fact that it has a stand. I love that. Like really
Yeah.
playing into hovering nature. So yeah, it's definitely one of those. Oh, sorry, did I not? I don't know why I did. Sorry about that, guys. I I was on the wrong screen. So yeah, it's I believe this is actually Bruce. He's way too big to be Terry. Terry's very small in the series, and the characters of Terry that have come out so far are actually very they're actually, it's funny because he's actually, I think, around the size of Robin in the animated
Yeah,
series.
a slimmer build. He's a lot like Dick Grayson.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. But I do believe that this is actually Batman, Bruce Wayne, just before he retires. And yeah, I can definitely see a lot of great vibes with, like I said, the speeders from like a Sith Lord or something like that. I think that that's definitely the kind of vibes that gives off for this particular one.
Yeah.
Um, no word on price yet though. So I'm thinking though, based on the idea that the Batmobiles in the past have been so expensive, I think this one might come in on the $60 level. Because I think the skeleton, I like to call it the skeleton Batmobile from Returns. I think that was upwards to $80 plus. And I think it came with Alfred, so that's actually why. And McFarlane's killing it with the vehicle game.
Mhm.
They're literally shoving it in the faces of Hasbro, who's charging like god awful amounts of money for action for vehicles like 120, 150. Whereas McFarlane's coming in under $100. It's crazy. It's actually a really good thing.
Wow. Wow. Okay, cool.
Yep.
Cool. Well, do you want to switch to some Silverhawks?
Yeah, let's take a few more comments. I think a couple more came in, and then we'll because I know Bad Wolf Customs is literally chomping on the bit. He's like, no Hawk Talk yet. he's literally he's literally going crazy.
Comics legend. Will we get a Richard Pryor?
Oh, you know what? The family, I doubt it. I doubt it
Yeah,
very much. Um, you
we'll
know,
see.
you'd rather see him in like a comedy special kind of thing, but I wonder.
Stir
I'm
Crazy.
waiting.
I'd prefer him in Stir
I'm
Crazy.
so McFarlane is actually dabbling in the what is it called in the rock and roll game right now.
Okay.
They're bringing out a whole bunch of different rock and roll legends. So I can definitely see a comedy legends series later, like on a Seinfeld's or
Yeah.
the Richard Pryors or Eddie
Gene
Murphy's or
Wilder's, Eddie
Gene
Murphy stuff like
Wilder.
that.
Yeah, exactly. All these
George
guys.
Carlin would be great.
Yeah, of course. Like
Mhm.
I would love to see some of those guys. I think people would love to collect those. Um, um, Ned B was great. And Padre says at 11 o'clock. Ned Beatty had a great cameo in the network.
In
I don't
network,
know.
yes.
Was that the TV show or was that the?
No, basically it was oh gosh, it was about basically the proliferation of evening news, like what we get now is normal, like CNN and MSNBC. I
Yep.
think that movie was the one where it was like, I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore. That's where that famous line came from. I could be wrong, so Padre, if you can back us up on that one, that'd be great.
Mhm.
And then Sci-Fi George says, I think you're confusing Ned Beatty with John C. Riley and Gangs of New York, Jay.
Oh, was it John C. Riley? Maybe you're right. Yes, because he was the police officer. Interesting. Well, you know what? A quick Google search will help us out.
Yeah.
Ned Beatty, gangs of. It doesn't look like it though. No, no, he wasn't. At least it doesn't show it in his filmography. So yeah, all good. A stealth Cylon. Yeah, that's a good one.
Oh, I just missed that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He could be a stealth. Yeah, actually, it's true. You know, now I can't unsee that. Now I can't unsee it. He brought it up, and now I just can't see it.
Yeah,
Um,
the head for sure.
base looks
Padre says, and I think you mentioned this earlier. I think the piece is $99.99 for Fig and Batmobile.
Was it though? Because I remember somebody telling me that the Batmobile, the Batman Returns Batmobile. Let me just double check it. Batman Returns Batmobile. Let's try Entertainment Earth. Let's see if they got it.
While you're doing that, I'm going to. So Pluis says, I hear what you're saying about Star Wars, but no, that's the Batmobile from Batman Beyond, isn't it? Yes, it is. Oh, this is interesting. Bad Wolf Custom says, looks like NECA may be putting out Motley Crue Girls, Girls, Girls. So there's along the rock and roll lineup. So it's kind of interesting. So I guess anything that is like iconically pop culture related, why not?
Yep, absolutely. Okay, that's what it was.
Padre, you know what? I'm gonna take the credit and say thank you for the comment. You know your classic movies, good synopsis of Network, except when it comes to Superman after 2, because then I get it mixed up because I obviously got when the bad Superman showed up. It wasn't in 4. It was in 3.
Absolutely. Yeah, okay. So I think you guys are right. It is about $110 actually on Entertainment Earth, but I do believe that's because it is a gold label. You know, again, one of those reasons why these things happen. Because let's just bring it up. Where is the box? There it is. So as you can see here, it is actually the gold label. It is actually the gold label edition, so that's probably why the extra the extra cost, as we can see there. So the standard edition is probably like $80. Pardon me, guys.
$109. $109.99.
That's right, $109.99 for the gold label edition.
Oh, get some drink there. Yeah, there you go.
That's why I got it.
All right, so
too much talking.
The big news for SilverHawks is that we are getting a comic book line for SilverHawks, and it's coming out of Dynamite Comics, and it's going to be a shared universe, part of the Thunderverse. So much like how G.I. Joe and Transformers are a shared universe in the comic books, I think it's with Skybound. You're getting the same. They're going to follow the same model for following the Thundercats comics, and then the line will be SilverHawks. So there's the cover for issue 1, and I think this is hitting. I think it's hitting LCSs, so local comic book shops in. I think it's January of 2025. So early in the first quarter. I hope Jay's okay.
Yeah, I'm fine. This is in celebration of the Dynamite 20th anniversary.
Yeah.
And wow, 20 years of Dynamite, man. That's crazy.
That is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because I was doing a little bit of research because I didn't really watch SilverHawks that much when I was a kid.
Sure.
I was more Thundercats, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so Thundercats, obviously, and I didn't even realize that they were connected to the point where, in the reboot for Thundercats, which I love the animation in that one, but it never took off. I think it was Monstar makes a small appearance, like a quick appearance in one of the episodes in the rebooted Thundercats.
So it wasn't Monstar. It was actually the SilverHawks themselves. They were actually in Mumra's. So spoilers ahead if anybody hasn't actually seen it. But Mumra was actually an alien, and he had actually gathered all of these different races from different planets
Right.
And he was actually collecting them. For what reason? There was kind of not really explained, but what you saw was tiger sharks and
Ah,
SilverHawks, and it's actually said the SilverHawks are contained, the tiger sharks are contained, and the Thundercats are also. They were all slaves, basically. They were all slaves
right.
under Mumra. Um, Probably somebody was. Oh, actually, Stephen Rothy did confirm it was Monstar. Absolutely. Like I didn't watch enough. I didn't get far enough in the show to see that episode. So crazy! I did not know that it was Monstar.
Yeah.
But they are. It does seem to be prevalent enough that there is a certain shared universe now. Because in the original Silverhawks and Thundercats and the Tiger Sharks, if they were part of a shared universe, they did not go into those
Yeah.
galaxies. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Um, Earth was well too far away from, and it's implied the third Earth was actually first Earth. So
Right.
there's a lot of things going on, which kind of don't make sense, but absolutely fascinating. So the fact that we're actually getting a shared universe in this comic book series, that's going to be fascinating too. And of course, we're treated to multiple covers on this one.
Yeah, there's some
So
great covers.
as
There's some
we
absolutely banger covers.
absolutely this one as well is just a beautiful look at Silverhawks in a wonderful wash style. I really do love the way this one looks. And then we have this, which is a little bit more of a cartoon take, a little bit more along the lines of what they actually look like in the show, although with very stylized, of course.
Mhm.
There's Monstar himself, as we were just talking about, the universe of Limbo. You got to love that. Hawkhaven, and not too sure what's going on here. I don't know what's happening on this particular planet, but it looks like they're in the middle of a meteor shower. It's interesting that Hot Wings is featured in the first issue. um, Hot Wings himself, and here it's almost like he's the main character.
Yeah.
Very interesting to see that, but a welcome decision, I think. A lot of people don't remember Hot Wings. He was actually one of the other, I believe there were 4 other Silverhawks that were introduced later. And he was definitely one of the more popular ones. I'll say it that way.
Well,
But
what they only got one season out of it, right?
they got 2
Out of the
seasons.
cartoon. They had 2 seasons?
They had yes, they had 2 seasons.
So 2 seasons.
Actually, thinking about it now,
I think it's
you
only
might,
one.
you might be right. It might have only been 1 season, but 52 episodes.
Right. That's
So
back when like they used to make a lot of episodes,
yeah, sorry.
right?
Syndication, way back in the day.
Mhm.
To qualify for syndication, you needed at least 42 episodes.
Yes.
So yeah, I believe that they actually did just a single season. I think you're right. But out of that single season, we got a lot of really great characters, a lot of fun characters.
Diego G. Yeah,
So
just one season. And so thanks Diego G for that. And so you can kind of tell then that they were probably hoping to get a second season to then expand on all those characters that would have been great. Also would have like fleshed out a toy line as well too. But I guess it just didn't work out that way due to viewership and everything else. Because Thundercats, that thing went on forever.
Thundercats went on for, I believe it was, it seems like it went on forever, but I believe it was only no, actually, you're right. It was like 4 seasons.
It was like crazy. 4 or 5 seasons.
It was 4. It was a crazy.
I think they doubled. I think they either doubled or maybe close to that, or maybe a little bit over that, the amount of episodes that Silverhawks.
Yeah, I think you are absolutely right. I believe they did about at least 3, if not 4 seasons. No, actually, I see this is how memory plays with your mind. There were only 2 seasons with Thundercats, which is
really
crazy to think. Yeah, crazy. But remember, as I said, there were 52 episodes a season, so that's 100 and some odd episodes, right?
Yeah, which is a lot.
Which is a lot. Let me just double check how many episodes exactly.
Comics Legend.
No,
they were long seasons.
There were 4 seasons. Yes, there were 4 seasons.
So there were
65 episodes for season 1. Yeah.
Okay, I thought.
But
so.
here's how it worked.
Okay.
Because again, this is how things really get weird. The first season was 65 freaking episodes. And then
Oh my God.
the second season was 25 episodes. The third season was 20 episodes, and the fourth season was 20 episodes. So when you think about it, there really were only 2 seasons. If you really
Technically.
break it down statistically, right? But I think the reason why they were broken into 4 seasons is because they were probably having difficulties with their time slots. So probably that's how that ended up going. Because the first season ran from January 23rd, 1985, all the way to December 20th, 1985. And then the second season ran from October 1st to October 9th. Third season ran from September 5th to September 30th. And the fourth season ran from September 4th to September 29th. So again, compared to the first season, which was an absolute smash, I think what happened was things started to really wean after the second season, and of course Thundercats the movie, which was a made-for-television special. But as I said, it's kind of funny the way memory plays on your mind, because again, there were just so many episodes.
Yeah.
If you really put it down together, there are well over 100 episodes for Thundercats, whereas Silverhawks, I think, is only like barely 52 episodes, I think. Here's another wonderful cover, although I do have to say it's a little bit more along the lines of what are they called again? Steven Universe, or maybe Simpsons even, but kind of weird. So somebody help me out in the comment section. You guys know.
I think it's Steven Universe.
Something like that. But these guys have no noses. I'm trying to remember which cartoon does that.
Hold on a second.
I think it's Adventure Time.
Let me see if I can.
I think it might be Adventure Time.
Yeah, you might be right.
Yeah, Finn doesn't have a nose. So
you might be right.
Yeah, this is probably my least favorite cover, but it is interesting. I do have to say.
There's a great one. There's a great one where it's like airbrushed and painted.
Yep.
If you can find that one, if not, I'll pop it up. It's pretty good.
Yeah, we're getting there for sure. Here's another wonderful cover of just Quicksilver.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing how many superheroes are named Quicksilver. There's just so many. But yeah, another wonderful cover in the universe of Limbo, the galaxy of Limbo. Sorry. And of course, this wonderful airbrush cover, which just looks ridiculous. Oh my God.
Yeah, that one. That's the one. That's a beauty.
Gorgeous. Yeah, 100%. And funnily enough, I do have it here, don't I? Yes, I do. I'll go grab something. This is a great time for Silverhawks to be coming out in comic book form, because it will actually reinforce a lot of great things happening in toys. Give me 1 second. I'll just grab something. If you want to start going through some comments.
Yeah, sure. And you know what I'd love? Because anyone in the comments, if you'd like to chime in, it'd be great. What were some of the cartoons from back in our day or back in the day that you'd love to see, if not rebooted as a cartoon, but at least or come out in comic book form? Frankie Rivera, Thundercats, Ho, for sure.
Yeah, we need Netflix to finish that Thundercats anime.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you know what too, and we'll get to this when we talk about Lara Croft. The thing with that Thundercats is that the animation and the designs were like, I love them. This is just me personally. And you hate to see when something looks that good in animation that you don't get to finish it.
Yep, I totally agree.
Because there's a lot of stuff that they get to finish it and it doesn't look that great, so it's kind of painful to watch. Padre says his Silverhawks metal wore off so much because I played with them constantly. Yeah, totally. I remember. Who did Kenner do the toys?
It was Kenner. Yeah. It was Kenner. Yep. It was Kenner.
Bad Wolf custom design didn't get Silverhawks in small town Canada for some strange reason. It was on
Fox. If you didn't have the WTV Buffalo 29, you weren't watching Thundercats or Silverhawks. It was a sad broadcasting rights, unfortunately.
Hune says, "Wow, Silverhawks." Hi, Jay.
Hey, Hune, what's going on?
Damien says, "Dino Riders." Oh, Brave Star. Yes, and Captain Planet. Captain Planet. Now, I didn't realize, and I might be misremembering it, but I think I remember seeing a clip, and I didn't realize how violent Brave Star was.
It can be, yeah, it can be.
Like people just getting shot in the street. And it's almost like when you watch the uncut Gotcha Man, because we got the sanitized version under Battle of the Planets, but when you see the OG anime, you're like, what the hell is going on here?
Blown away. Yeah. But with with the neutrino guns, they were stunned. They were always on stun. So nobody died. But the way they got blasted, but even in G.I. Joe, the way they got blasted back, like Filmation was doing some crazy stuff back then.
For sure. Skeletor would like to see Cops and Crooks and Bravestar. Bravestar seems to be one of those ones where it's got a soft spot in everyone's heart.
Well, I mean, he's one of the few Native American heroes who really did have a lasting impact on a lot of young kids. Like, he was amazing. And they really dug deep into the Native American roots. You know what I mean? Like, his adoptive grandfather, he taught him everything, and watching how he actually gains the power of the four beasts was actually just inspiring. So it was crazy.
Yeah, totally. Heyo says Voltron and Inspector Gadget.
Henry Cavill is not going to be Keith. Okay, I'm gonna go on record. I'm gonna go on record and say that Henry Cavill is not going to be Keith. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna go on record saying the Voltron movie, I'll believe it when I see it. Just like me, just like Master of the Universe, I am skeptical beyond belief. Even now, I just like they're casting like crazy. I don't believe it. It's a Hollywood machine doing its thing. Right.
Well,
casting,
Henry Cavill is going to be in like 12 different franchises because he's Captain Britain. He's going to be in Voltron. There's not enough time for this boy.
As much as I love,
and is he also in Warhammer or something?
Well, there's the thing. I was about to mention that. As much as I love Henry Cavill, Warhammer just got shelved, and that's a shame. Because he actually bought the rights to the movie rights. So unfortunately, if Henry Cavill can't get it done, it's going to be damn hard to get a Voltron movie out the door. It's going to be crazy.
Oh my gosh, this is some Canadiana right here. Captain Nemo and Hercules with Newt. Oh my gosh, that's the one with the ring, right?
Absolutely, yes. It was hilarious because it just gave I don't know if it was like some sort of like toy positioning. Because there actually were no Hercules toys, but the ring was always something that you could always associate with.
Yeah, totally.
Especially considering the fact that the Hercules doesn't need a ring. Where the hell did that come from, right? But it was
it was a gimmick. It was the gimmick.
It's a Toyota kind of thing, right? It's a freaking Green Lantern. You know what I mean? It's exactly that sort of archetype.
Yes,
but still, it was a fun little cartoon. You woke up, you watched a couple episodes, you went to school. You know what I mean? And Captain Nemo, man, that freaking intro always got me hyped, man. That was it was like, and it reminded me of Hawaii Five-0 for whatever strange reason. It was just that kind of vibe. You know what I mean?
This is a great one too. Hewan says, "Is there any Bionic Six figures?" And you know what, too, though, like going back to the '80s, those are some of the best cartoon themes. Like, so those themes were killer. They were so good.
Let me tell you straight, okay? The '80s is a magical time, and the '80s literally is the greatest time ever. And the reason being, and you can tell, is because everybody goes back to the '80s. We're talking about the Guardians of the Galaxy. We're talking about Captain Marvel was in the '90s, but still, there's like so many references to like Stranger Things. You know what I mean? Like all these shows. Everybody goes back to the fucking '80s, man. '80s was the time to be alive, man. Gremlin, like seriously, there weren't. Hollywood was experimenting back then. Freaking how. When at any time can you actually get a movie based on a fucking bunch of Muppets? Seriously, how do you get Muppets as a movie premise? Seriously, that's crazy. You know what I mean?
Think about it though, right? Like Last Starfighter.
Call
it? You'd already mentioned Gremlins.
Yeah, Enemy Mine.
You had stuff like the Lost Boys. Right, like the '80s had some great properties, like and we're always going back to Back to the Future. The Goonies were great.
Back to the Future, you know what I mean? Like crazy stuff. Masters of the Universe, y'all can go screw yourselves, okay? Seriously, honestly, Ghostbusters, Ghost freaking Busters, movies which would never fly on paper anywhere else, and they were massive successes. Meatballs. You know, all the freaking raunchy movies of the 80s, man. Just a lot of fun. Just
Definitely.
crazy. Nerds.
Yeah,
Come on.
that's true.
Seriously.
Sci-Fi George, I'd love to see Bionic 6, Galaxy Rangers. Oh my god, that's taking me back.
Yeah.
Mummies Alive and Inhumanoids brought back.
Humanoids, that's a series which, well, if you actually watch Inhumanoids, it's disturbing. There's actually like Decompose. He is a psychopath, man. That like, and Metlar. Oh my god, crazy. Seriously, that was some dark stuff, and it really did have a cartoon aesthetic. You know, it had really dark black washes. You know what I mean? It was very much like the way this looks right here, which this is not the way SilverHawks looks, which is another great reason to bring it back.
This is almost like if Jay Lee, I'm not sure if any of our audience are familiar with Jay Lee, but he's got this really dark kind of an art style, minimalist lines, but then these heavy blacks. And so that cover there, that's more reminiscent of the cartoon.
Yeah, exactly. This is more what you would expect for the cartoon, but this is more what you would expect for a Jay Lee for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. There was just so many experimental movies at the time, and you also got these great films like Say Anything. You know what I mean? Pretty in Pink.
Say Anything,
right?
Or was that? Yeah, that must have been late 80s.
Say Anything was
the boombox, right?
Yeah, that's 80s. Yeah,
that's 80s. Yeah, probably late 80s.
Yeah, Pretty in Pink, right? License to Drive,
Uncle Buck, stuff like that.
Exactly. Uncle Buck actually was the 90s.
Was that 90s?
Uncle Buck was 90s.
Yeah, I'm thinking of the John Hughes Hughes run.
Exactly, John Hughes.
The late great John Candy.
With the Pretty Pink, you know, all these wonderful Fairmont High. You know what I mean?
That one I don't remember.
Indiana freaking Jones, dude. Like seriously,
yes, Indy for sure.
Right? Like these are the films. Again, it was just a magical time, freaking magical time.
Was Neverending Story 80s as well too?
Which one?
The Neverending Story.
Neverending Story was 80s. Yeah. Beautiful film, right? Yeah. And again, Willow, freaking Willow, man. Like,
you know what? I never did watch Willow.
Honestly, Willow is a great movie. Willow is a great movie. I could not get past the third actually I could not get past the first episode of the Willow reboot. I couldn't do it. I just could not do it. Yeah, man. The 80s was freaking an amazing time for experimentation in films. It was just crazy.
Big time. Jabbar Robbins, sup Jay and Steve. The only Silverhawk I ever had was Bluegrass with Sideman. By the way, how do you guys pronounce? Oh my god.
Yeah, let's go for it. Let's go for it, Steve. How do you do it?
Mitzelspitzlik. That's how
I've always said Mitzelplix. I've always said Mitzelplix, and I that's the way it was on the TV show, and that's the way I've always said it. I've always said Mitzelplix. Why? How do you say it, Jabbar? You can't hear that. Whatever the hell you're saying.
Yeah, I guess so. This is an interesting comment going back to the Reeves figure. Sir Jirac says Christopher Reeves' logo was a bit sloppy in the movie. I think that's what they were going for. Well, if they're going for movie accuracy.
That's weak sauce, Sir Yorick. Sir Yorick, that is weak sauce. No, I do not accept that. I do not accept that as an excuse for McFarlane being lazy. No.
Wait a second. I don't know this one.
Dinosaurs.
I
don't know it either. I just saw it on a compilation cartoon intros. So I have no idea what Dinosaurs is. As far as I know, they're intelligent dinosaurs from outer space.
Cool. There
have been worse.
Recoverall says hard to beat the original 80s Guyver in terms of dark. Yeah, that's true.
It's true if you know what Guyver is.
Yeah.
I love Guyver, but believe it or not, I believe Guyver was a comic book in the 80s, but it was actually an anime in the 90s.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit of trivia right there.
Oh my god. This Skeleton says I just watched License to Drive last night.
Great stuff.
So weird that you say that, Jay. Haven't watched it in over 20 years.
Great stuff, man.
Woo. Oh, and here's another one by Alex Valdez. Labyrinth. That was David Bowie, if I'm not
Muppet, man. Muppets. I'm telling you.
Now wait a second though. There was a movie. was it Legend or something? It was a Tom Cruise
Legend,
movie,
Tom Cruise, yeah.
and it had
And
whatever
three,
the main villain was. Like the
yeah.
makeup was amazing, and he
He was the
had the
devil.
horns.
That was
Was
the
it Devil?
freaking
Because I
devil,
never
man.
watched it, but I watched it back in the day just on the commercials. I'm like, that looks amazing.
Dude, you should watch it if you can find it. Watch it because
Right.
I have to sit down and watch it again. Like it's beautiful in terms of prosthetics. This was back in the day when special effects. There was no Star Wars
It
back
was
then.
all practical.
It was
Everything
all
was
practical,
practical.
right? Lady Hawk
Oh
is an
my gosh, Lady Hawk. That's
incredible
right.
film. In freaking
Yeah.
incredible film. The 70s had its day too, man. The 70s
Mhm.
were doing some crazy things. Make no mistake, right?
Yeah.
Thankfully, Industrial Light and Magic and all these other special effects houses, they came along and finally brought us into the out of the dark ages. You know what I mean?
But you know
They
what's
had-
interesting, and I may get some heat for saying this, but when Winston did
Stan
the
Winston?
Iron, yeah, when Winston did the Iron Man armor for Iron Man 1,
Yep.
and it was so practical, like a lot of it was practical.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
think the armors ever looked better.
No,
Like I
agree.
know that it, the tech,
agree.
the nanotech, and all this kind of stuff,
I
but
agree.
the armor has never looked better. Iron Man looked the best like out of all the movies in Iron Man 1.
I will say this. Whenever you can actually put on a suit of armor, you want that suit of armor. You're not gonna freaking get this this nanotech. Like I've seen guys do it as cosplay. It doesn't look like the nanotech. Like there's no freaking
Right.
way, right? But you could. But like to this day, Mark II. I think it was Mark II or Mark III. I think it was Mark III. The Mark III armor. No,
Yeah.
I think it was the Mark IV. Right? It was the Mark IV, wasn't it? Anyway,
Let me take a look.
I believe it's Mark IV. That armor is still to this day my favorite Iron Man suit. Okay, I still
the Mark
love,
IV.
yeah, I love the way the helmet goes on. I love
with the round chest plate. Yeah,
everything just beautiful. Just chef's kiss in terms of what it is for cinematic versions of Iron Man. And let's be honest, without Iron Man, the MCU would not exist the way it is today. It would be in some sort of incarnation, but it would not be the powerhouse it is right now. And arguably, it's no longer a powerhouse, in my opinion. That's just, and I'll probably get flack for that too. But anyway,
well,
oh, Monster Squad, nice one, Alex. Yes, Monster Squad. That was a really
where
good
are we?
It's right at the end. 11:32. Great stuff. Yeah, man, great stuff.
There was another one here. We actually talked about Mask a couple of weeks ago.
Oh yeah. I mean, they're coming back. I believe they will eventually get a comic book if they haven't already. I mean, they had comic books from before, so I mean, it's only inevitable that it's going to happen. Critters, Alex Valdez, Critters. That was a really great camp,
Critters,
a monster movie to the nth degree. A lot of fun. Your basic what's it called? Cheese ball movie, but it was so much Beastmaster. Yeah,
Beastmaster. Was that Mark Singer?
That was Mark Singer, man.
I think that was Mark Singer.
That was the V. That was the V, man.
Because everything was trying to be like Conan. Oh my gosh, the OG Conan the Barbarian. Like,
Beastmaster. Beastmaster is a B film that just caught a wave.
But it punches above its weight. Personally,
it does. It caught a wave. Watching it again today, I'm looking at the damn pyramid. I'm like, that is not a pyramid. That is some sort of like cosplay statue. Like it's smaller. It's smaller than the most high rises. I was like, okay, that's tall, but it's not gargantuan, man. I was like, what is this thing? And Rip Torn, bless him, man. But that was not his best film. That was not his best film, honestly. But the concepts behind it. The ferrets made that freaking film, man. The ferrets were the stars of that film. The black tiger, the black they painted him, by the way. Cruelty to animals.
That's right. That's right.
Where was PETA? Where was PETA back then? They literally painted a tiger.
Yeah.
I was like, that's a tiger? Like, it was seriously, that was just
those are different times.
They were different
times.
But it was as close to He-Man as you're probably gonna get with that kind of aesthetic. And yeah, man, just lots of stuff. I remember when I was a kid, those bat creatures, they freaked the hell out of me. They would open up their arms and wrap you in them and just devour you. and that just I remember that giving me nightmares as a kid.
Mhm.
But it was a great film, 100%. But again, B film, which punched above its weight class, 100%.
Here's another one, Galaxy Rangers. One of the
They have
best
a
theme
full
songs of all time.
they have a full version online if you look for it. It's pretty awesome.
And I think SilverHawks is on Amazon, if I'm not mistaken. It might be only in the US.
Possibly only in the US, because I don't think it's available.
Because I think it's a Warner Brothers property now.
Yes,
And so, you know,
they stopped
they
selling
would lock down a lot of that stuff in terms of
They
being able to
stopped
catch
selling
it free.
DVDs years ago. It's unfortunate because
Yeah.
everyone was looking for volume 2. No one
Mhm.
could find it.
No,
Killer Clowns from Outer
Outer
Space. I believe that
Space.
was 90s though. I believe
It might be.
Killer
Oh,
Clowns
here's
was
one.
90s.
The Dark Crystal.
The
And you know,
freaking Muppets, man.
that's right. And you know where
Freaking
I used to
Muppets.
see this one? I used to see it as like the ads in the back of comic books.
Yeah.
Right.
Dark Crystal was awesome, dude.
That's back when you used to actually get advertising in your
Yeah,
comic.
and it was all illustrated. It wasn't photographs. It
Yeah.
was wonderful illustration work. It was just beautiful.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Let me see here. Jabbar Robbins says, the way Steve said it, speaking of TV shows, I recently got Super Friends, the complete collection. Do you guys have it? No, I do not.
I don't. I'm ashamed. I'm ashamed to say that these days I'm collecting a lot of digital stuff. It's just, like I have too many fucking toys, man. Like Wheeled Warriors, yes,
definitely Visionaries for sure.
Jason
Those were
Wheeled
good.
Warriors, yeah.
And then this one caught me because I was like, I haven't heard Snorks in forever.
That's hilarious. Snorks is a ripoff of freaking Smurfs. Okay, Snorks, Smurfs, freaking underwater, under anything, like put them underwater. Let's just make Smurfs underwater. Freaking crazy. I was never a fan of Snorks.
Okay, so Sci-Fi George has something here for you, Jay. It's mixed yes. Lick. I believe that's how John Byrne had him explain it to Superman and the Man of Steel limited series. They did it in the animated series too with Gilbert Gottfried, and Gilbert Gottfried was inspired casting. To be honest with you,
yeah, he was. That's 100%. I'm gonna say Mitsoplex. I don't give a shit. Y'all can screw yourself.
Oh, we're going some deep dives into the 80s fantasy movies. Red Sonja.
Oh, Red Sonja
with Bridget Nielsen, and then Krull. Yeah. Remember Krull?
Krull was awesome, man.
Yeah.
Krull was another. That was a UK film, which really had no business in America, but it was so good. It was so good. Liam Neeson is in Krull. I don't know if anybody knew that.
Was that his first?
I don't know if it was first, but he was definitely, that was one of his earlier roles for sure.
Yeah. So a movie that I liked as a kid, but I didn't really get it because I liked King Arthur and Knights of the Round Table and stuff, was Excalibur. And I didn't realize that Patrick Stewart was in that movie.
Yeah, you won't because he's got hair.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right after that movie, he lost it all. It was gone. Like as soon as he did Dune, everything it was over.
Yeah, it's kind of funny that he made a reference. I think even in Star Trek, where he's like, "I lost my hair in my early 20s."
Hey, Toy Migos is in the house. What's going on, boys? How you guys doing?
Oh, we got some great comments. Yeah. Padre says we need a Thundar the Barbarian continuation and some figs.
Yes. I want Ular to mop.
Right.
Yep.
Chad Stewart, red and blue electric Superman figures.
Already done. Try to find them though. Try finding them in the wild.
So this was the one that I didn't realize was it actually a show. It was they cobbled it between like three different shows.
Yeah. So the history of Robotech is again syndication. In Japan, a single season can go anywhere from like 12 episodes to usually 32 episodes. Okay.
Right.
But unfortunately, American syndication requires 52 episodes. So that did not reach the run. It barely reached the run with 2 seasons between Mospeada and Macross. But they needed a little bit more. So they actually added Southern Cross and they had 3 completely different series, 3 different versions. Right. And the animation was just decent enough and looked just like each other enough that it could pass for that. But what that was arguably the antithesis of anime in North America.
Sure.
However, I will argue I will argue that Voltron and Force
Oh,
5.
Voltron.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Voltron
Voltron
and
and Force 5 are great.
Yeah, they predate all of that, right?
So out of Force 5, which was your favorite?
My favorite, Starvengers.
Starvengers. What was your favorite pilot?
Oh, come on. Let's be honest here.
Or favorite mech.
Okay. So no, well, okay. All right. Now, stereotypically, it's Star Dragon, right? So Star Dragon, Hummer, that's my favorite. And I have them right over there.
Nice.
Yeah,
I was a Paladin guy. I liked Star Arrow.
You're like my brother. My brother loved
Star Arrow, man.
Yeah, Star Arrow was he was a badass, man. He was the badass. Like seriously, he was a punk. You know what I mean? He would get into fights. Like amazing show. If anybody has like, I have a retrospective on it, guys. It's so old. It's my very first video. My very first video was a retrospective on Starvengers.
Starvengers is fantastic stuff.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah.
I really did like Space Dragon, Guy King, and of course
King. Grandizer, was great.
My least favorite
battle and the Greatest American Hero. Yeah, to this day that theme song still plays in my head.
Steve brings up Greatest American Hero all the time. He keeps bringing it over and over again. So I wonder what Steve likes today.
Yeah. Superheroes who aren't good at their job.
Hey, it almost got a second season with his cousin or something like that.
Something like that. The Canadian version, Swiss Family Robinson, which I ironically as a Canadian, maybe I'm gonna lose like my Maple Leaf tattoo, but Swiss Family Robinson I never watched. But Bad Wolf says that it put the fear of tiger sharks in me for life.
I seem to recall it's a repressed memory or something like that. So
for me, it was Littlest Hobo.
I don't think it was a cartoon though. I think it was a
I think it was live action Swiss Family.
Yeah, I think it was a show.
The Canadiana that I was watching back then would have been like Littlest Hobo.
Oh man, Littlest Hobo was great. It was definitely that was shot on camcorders. I think.
I think so.
But Beachcombers.
Yes.
was the one that I remember. And what was the other one where they were in the middle of freaking nowhere up in Vancouver somewhere? They had to use a pontoon plane just to get around.
Wasn't that Beachcombers?
I think that maybe I'm thinking Beachcombers. Maybe that actually was it. Yeah, Beachcombers.
Yeah.
Raccoon.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Raccoon.
Trances and Puppet Masters from Full Moon Entertainment, plus all of the E-Trauma movies, such as the Toxic Avenger. I remember Toxic Avenger.
Yes, the trauma. Yeah, trauma movies. A lot of fun.
Yeah. Speaking of Toxic Avenger, the scene in RoboCop when the dude gets doused with the toxic acid, the waste. Oh man, it's like when you want just desserts for a badass in a film.
Yeah,
that's it.
100%. But it's nothing compared to the fact that his friend literally splatters him all over his own windshield. Like that was insane.
Yeah, he kind of gunned it. I've
never seen anything like that in my life. That was crazy.
Even when that's great. All the different iterations of Highlander, to be honest with you, all the way down to the TV series. When I guess Peter Weller, but I can't remember his name, the character's name in RoboCop, when he got his hand shot off, the way that he showed the hand explode.
Alex Murphy.
Murphy, that's right. So when his hand exploded and then they just had the blood gush, like when you think of like the effects, it's like just some great stuff.
RoboCop is criminal. I'm going on record to say RoboCop is criminal. How dare you? How dare you? Okay. How dare you? Somebody help me with the director's name. Freaking guy from Finland, I think, or it was Netherlands. Huh? Verhoeven? Yeah, he's Finnish or something like that, isn't he? Or he's
Dutch or something.
Something like that, right? How dare he?
Paul Verhoeven.
Yeah. How dare he make a film which obviously appeals to freaking kids and then make it the most violent freaking film ever? I literally snuck into a theater just to watch that damn thing. You know what I mean? My mom had me under a coat. We immediately left after she saw how violent it was.
Right.
How dare they?
Oh, but it's so good.
How dare he make the coolest thing ever and then make it an R-rated film? How dare he? How dare he? Every kid wanted to watch RoboCop, right? And then they go ahead and make comic books, toys, right? There's a theory going around. There's a theory going around that all R-rated films are somehow marketed to kids because they all have toys. Aliens had toys. right?
Yeah.
RoboCop had toys, right? It's insane, right?
I remember my mother. This is when Aliens was on TV, so it already had its theatrical release, and it was on TV, and I wanted to watch it. And I remember my mother yelling from upstairs, "You better not be watching that Alien movie."
Terminator, Dynamo Dave, 2002. Terminator had toys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like how is it that all these freaking ultra violent films have Predator? Predator has tons of toys.
Yeah, it's
I'm
crazy.
like, I don't know, like, what are you doing?
I'm looking for one here, which is a deep dive. Because to be honest with you, I think Jabbar and I are the only two people in this chat who's ever actually seen this.
No, I seen Street Hawks. I seen Street Hawks
with the motorcycle.
Of course,
I love that show.
Between Knight Rider and Street Hawk, those two were freaking and Airwolf.
Oh, wait, Airwolf and Blue Thunder.
Exactly. Right.
Yeah. Like we have a vehicle. Let's RoboCop it. Let's RoboCop this vehicle, and then fight crime.
After Master Universe had its run, after Conan the Barbarian had its run, everything went freaking space age. You know what I mean? Like we had Tron, right? Another wonderful 80s film.
Yeah, Tron.
Right?
Tron was a bit too out there for me. Even
it was
because they were wearing hockey helmets, man. Like Mark Messier had that helmet.
Dude, they were wearing glow in the dark paint. You know what I mean? It was like ultra spandex, and it was a monotone film. They saved so much money on that film. I'm just kidding. They spent a ton of money on that film. That film cost an arm and a leg. But I remember renting my ass. I remember borrowing it from the library. That's how unforgettable that film got at one point. So, but I loved it. I love the whole premise of Tron, and I really love Tron Legacy. Tron Legacy was really good.
Tron Legacy was great.
Tron was awesome.
And was it Daft Punk?
Yeah,
who
the
did
whole
the soundtrack?
The whole
soundtrack was
inspired,
bumping, man.
Inspired, man, just crazy. The Warriors, Hunter. Are you talking about Hunter the TV show? That was funny.
With Fred
Magnum PI, you know.
Oh yeah, Miami Vice that we spoke about a couple of weeks ago.
Miami Vice, exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
A-Team, like Stephen J. Cannell, man, killing it. Thunder,
Small Wonder, man. You want to talk about kids shows? We're talking about Small Wonder. We're going to talk about Punky Brewster. We're going to tell you, we're going to be here for hours,
forever,
naming off shows, man. This is crazy.
Oh my gosh! Wait a second. Tales of the Golden Monkey. Oh my gosh! Okay, now we're going back.
I agree.
I think that was Donald P. Belisario. Who was doing Magnum at the time. Yeah, and I think that was one of his spin-off shows. Yeah, there we go. A-Team.
Yep,
oh man.
A-Team.
Okay. I have never seen this movie, but this movie was in every comic book on the back page. That was another one that had an ad.
Yep. And we never watched it.
No, never did.
I could never find it. It was never in any rental store. It wasn't anywhere.
No.
Riptide, man, that's an old.
Remember that?
And
Life Force.
You just said MacGyver.
Yeah, we're gonna get to MacGyver in a second, but Life Force. What was that?
Life Force. Yeah, Life Force.
Was that a show?
It was a show. Yeah, it was a show.
I don't remember it.
Yeah.
MacGyver. Okay, so again, I'm gonna catch some heat for this. I'm watching MacGyver on its first run with Richard Dean Anderson, I think his name is.
Awesome guy.
And when he created a bomb out of like gum and like tinfoil or something, awesome. I was like, I'm out. This is ridiculous.
No, but it's not even Steve, that's not the most ridiculous part. The ridiculous part, he's literally telling you, if you use gum and a little bit of gunpowder along with a tinfoil for an activator, you can really get a bang out of this. It's like that's impossible.
Yeah, it's like, come on, man.
But it didn't freaking matter. The term MacGyvering something has become synonymous with
it's the lexicon now, for sure.
It is. Richard Dean Anderson to this day, he loves MacGyver, but he's kind of it's a Luke Skywalker syndrome. It's not the role he wants to be remembered for, but unfortunately it is. It is the role that he will always be remembered for.
Yeah, because he also did Stargate.
That's right. It was a movie. My apologies. It was a movie.
That was because the movie was Kurt Russell.
Which one?
Stargate.
Yes, the movie was Kurt Russell, but the TV show was
Richard Dean Anderson.
Right. So Padre's right. Life Force was a movie with space vampires. Half the movie is naked. and screaming. It was a
That's also
weird
80s.
film.
That's also very on brand for
Oh,
the
very
80s.
very much so, very much so. But they would seduce you, they would suck you dry, and then she literally walks through the entire town naked. It was just this weird film,
Okay.
and it's basically it's about a whole bunch of astronauts finding this pod in space, and then releasing these vampires of the world. But again,
Space vampires.
freaking
Okay.
wicked, freaking freaky stuff, man, freaky stuff.
It was a British horror movie. All right. So that will have its own kind of special charm, just like Dr. M. Effin Who. A banger,
what,
a banger theme song too.
it's a banger theme song, which kept me up at night because that damn thing, I swear to God, there was the sound scared the hell out of me. Also, they've actually lost because the show is like that and Downton Abbey. The show's been on forever, right? And Doctor Who, many of the original archive films have actually been subject of film rot. They're gone.
Oh no.
Yeah, they are actually gone. Some of the original Doctor Who episodes are completely gone. They're
That's
like anybody anybody who actually has on a VHS, please keep it. This needs to be archived somewhere. Oh, by the way, we need to save the Internet Archive. It was under attack, but it had a DDoS attack not too long ago. I thought it was actually down, but it was not. It was a DDoS attack. So they're still trying to fight it. They're fighting to get it back, and somebody's taken to the court for copyright infringement. And it's crazy because literally the Internet Archive, if you guys have never heard of it, if you need anything, if you need to reference anything, if you need to learn anything about the internet from God knows when, it's there. And as a human resource, it's invaluable. There's so many times which I've actually gone back there and found websites that I completely forgot about. Like seriously, and it needs to stay relevant. It needs to stay. So everybody, we should definitely save the Internet Archive. Definitely. And the Wayback Machine, man. The Wayback Machine. We need to save that thing too. Automan.
I remember Automan. Was Automan Tron inspired?
It looked like Tron. It looked like Tron. He had this little robot that would draw him a car.
Yes. A cursor. Am I right there?
That cursor. He was called Cursor. You're right. It was actually called Cursor. Exactly. Yeah. You are right.
The stuff we used to watch. And
dating myself, which I've done multiple times. Do you remember this French Canadian show called Mannequin? And I'm not talking about the film.
Yeah. I like the film too because I was a big Kim Cattrall fan.
Of course, we all Kim Cattrall, man. But Mannequin was funny as hell. She actually was an invisible woman. It was this weird film. It was a weird show, and every episode she was stripped down, becoming invisible. It was literally a striptease. And the thing is that what always got me as a kid is she would literally be taking off pieces of clothing, but you wouldn't see anything because she was invisible. It was such a weird concept. Totally Canadian. Totally freaking that. And Today's Special. Today's Special was an amazing show too.
Today's Special. That's right. Oh my gosh. Let me see what else we got here.
You can't do that on television, Jabbar. Nice.
Is that the one with the slime?
That was the one with slime.
Where they dropped the slime on you? And was Alanis on that show?
It was, yes. It was Nickelodeon. And I believe many episodes were filmed here in Toronto, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. But
I think you're right. Either here or Ottawa, one of the two.
Yeah. One of those two, right? It was a hugely popular show for kids. Moonlighting, oh my God. There's another repressed memory. That was Hudson Hawk there. It was freaking
that was Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis's first
Yippee-Yo-Ki-Yay.
Yeah.
That crazy. He was on Miami Vice.
And Sybil Shepherd, wasn't it?
And Sybil Shepherd. And then he went to Moonlighting.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. I like that show a lot. Like really good banter. The writing was great on that show.
It was Harry Met Sally with a bit more tension. You know what?
Yes. So we have a question here from Padre. What was that TV show about the adult and kid time travelers with a locket watch?
Shoot, dude, you've named about 10 of these things that I've about the adult and kid time travelers with a locket watch. Give me more, dude. You have to give me a little bit more.
I'm thinking of Rick and Morty at this point.
It was an 80s show, or was it?
I think it's an 80s show. He's referring to an 80s show.
That was tough.
Wait a second. Was Christine McClade, was she on You Can't Do That on Television? Was she the
Possibly.
host with the brown
Well,
curly hair?
there were no real hosts, but they were like
one of the
all the kids were like featured, right? But
yeah.
she was the one who you always saw with the curly hair, and she'd always
Yes.
get slimed, right? She would always get slimed. Alanis Morissette was on You Can't Do That. That's
Yeah.
a lie.
No, she was.
True?
Yeah.
Is that true? Holy
It's
crap.
absolutely true.
Did she belt anything out? Like time travel? Was it wait.
No, she wasn't singing back then. But she was just one of the kids. It's kind of like how Ryan Gosling was young Hercules. Like the Kevin Sorbo Hercules in the 90s.
Oh my gosh, really?
He was young Hercules.
I forgot about young Hercules. Really? There's another reverse memory right there.
Yeah. And then there was this show, which was the Dirty Harry Hunter parody, which was David Rashney, who actually, he was Sledgehammer, and he's actually, oh gosh, what was that? What's that? The show with Brian Cox, and it's set in New York. It's kind of like, what's it called? Not Empire, but it's about the family, the dysfunctional family.
Which one again? Say it again.
And it's a comedy, and they own Waystar, which is a anyone who's in the chat, help me out with this one. But Succession. So David Rashney plays one of the advisors in Succession, and he was Sledgehammer.
Yeah. So Padre figured it out. Yes, it is called Voyagers. That was actually the name of the show, with the time traveling kids and the stopwatch.
Time Bandits. That's
Time
right.
Time Bandits was another one too. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Again, we're just going back in time, man. We're just the Wayback Machine is just like
this one.
It's
Max Headroom.
Dr. Peabody, dial in the Wayback Machine. By the way, those are 70s cartoons.
Yeah,
like anybody who Roger Ramjet, Super Chicken.
Okay, so those ones and Boris and Natasha.
Yep.
I would watch those again.
The Rocky Bullwinkle.
Bullwinkle. But Roger Ramjet, man. The theme song alone makes you laugh.
Okay, so everybody's probably seen the memes. Super Chicken is on drugs, and he drinks martinis.
Yeah,
he drinks martinis and is on the drugs, right? Yeah. Roger Ramjet, he's a coke addict, man.
with the proton pellets, man.
That's right. It's all there's all drug innuendo. Right, George of the Jungle is impotent or something. Right? He's got 2 hot girlfriends.
Oh, that's true.
Touch either.
He's swinging into those trees. That's what did
absolutely. Right. Actually, he's into bestiality. He'd rather hang out with the freaking animals than he would rather have the 2 girls.
90s, but I really like Briscoe County Jr. I think that was Bruce Campbell. That's right. It says it right there. It was a live action Western era with Bruce Campbell as the lead.
Yep.
So what was, because going back to Peter Weller, Buckaroo Banzai. So what the hell was that?
I just
remember it.
Crazy cult film. That was this crazy cult film that just it was just out there, man. It was on the same level as Barbarella. Okay.
Right.
Anybody who doesn't know what Barbarella is, that was 60s or was it 7? I think it was 7.
Barbarella was 60s.
60s. Oh my god, it was 60s.
That was Jane Fonda.
Yeah, Jane Fonda, Barbarella. Right? That it's on the same level as Barbarella. It was just this really quirky space adventure. It was just really it was out there.
Camp Candy was a good one and voiced by John Candy. Now, help me out, people in the chat.
That was a cartoon.
Did John Candy voice anything from Heavy Metal, the movie?
He did. He was the kid. The kid that turned into a
that's right.
The big
burly guy.
The strong guy. I can't remember his name anymore.
Yeah, I think he was bald or something like that. I can't. I can't remember the visuals.
Yeah, his name was Grog or something like that. Something
like that.
Yeah. He was definitely 100%.
And then the original Waterville Gang. Jay, on my OMG, you have to look this up because it was a Toronto puppet show in the 80s. The Waterville Gang. Never heard of it.
You are bringing back another repressed memory. That, along with Mr. Dress Up, was another crazy property. The Waterville Gang.
Rock.
Yeah,
like all of those
and freaking
properties.
Hemi Hamster, man. Like you're totally like bringing up all these crazy.
Hammy Hamster,
Yeah,
oh
man.
my god,
Hemi Hamster, PJ. You
that's
know,
right. Jeez, the
the
stuff
White
we used
Rat,
to watch.
right? I watched
Um,
way too much television as a kid.
right?
I watch way too much television now. Well, not television. I watch YouTube now.
Yeah, Sydney Sweeney, man, she's the gal of the moment right now, and she's going to be doing Barbarella. I could see that.
Are they going to do a Barbarella remake? That's
Apparently
hilarious.
so, and she's it.
Well, Hollywood has lost all creativity. There's nothing left. I mean, we talked about Jim and the Holograms last time. Like seriously,
Right?
Buck Rogers. Yeah, Buck Rogers. Absolutely.
I had the biggest crush on Aaron Gray.
Everyone did.
Yeah, man.
She's hot.
And can you name the voice actor
Of what was he
the
called?
little robot? I
Yeah,
can't
what was
remember
he
the
called?
robot's
I can't remember his
name.
name anymore.
Obviously
I have no
inspired by
idea.
R2.
Yeah, I have no idea.
It was Mel Brooks.
Was it Mel Brooks? No,
Not
way.
Mel Brooks. Sorry, not Mel Brooks. My bad. Who did Bugs Bunny's voice?
Mel Blanc. You were talking
Mel
about Mel
Blanc.
Blanc. Mel Blanc.
Mel
Okay,
Blanc.
so yeah, so
Yeah.
it was pretty much every Warner Brothers cartoon out there. I mean, he literally did all the voices. Daffy Duck, Porky Pig.
He was the guy, man.
He was a legend. He was the legend.
Yeah.
Nobody can do it the same as he did. Nobody.
Yeah, the current dude who does them, he's a Canuck.
Yes,
and he's good.
He played very well.
And played very well.
Very, very well.
He's good, but like Mel's the OG.
Yep. 100%.
You know, his Yosemite Sam. Whew.
Oh yeah, absolutely, 100%.
Mel Blanc. There you go. Everyone's saving me. Thank you.
Saturday Supercade, nice, great stuff. Atari before, like Atari video game cartoons before anything else. Like it had Donkey Kong, it had Pac-Man, it had great. It had actually no, that was a different thing, but a lot of great space. It had Space Invaders, I think. Yeah, a lot of great video game cartoons.
Yeah, definitely. If you don't mind, I wanna just jump to Tomb Raider.
All right, really quickly before we do that, I just wanted to say that I wanted to follow up on the SilverHawks thing.
Yes, please do.
So really quickly, Super 7 released a line of SilverHawks, which not a lot of people were happy with. But recently, they actually corrected that issue because everyone wants shiny SilverHawks. So I'm proud to say that they've actually corrected that issue, and look how shiny. That is a shiny SilverHawk right there. That is ridiculous. Vac metal, and they look absolutely gorgeous. So I'm proud to say that these things are incredible. Now I'm also gonna go on record as saying that these things are not going to be touched much because the more you touch them, the oils in your hands will degrade the Vac metal. But there's nothing quite like Vac metal toys and 80s. Again, 80s was 80s. 80s is the time to be alive, man. If you grew up in the 80s, you had a kick-ass childhood. That's all I gotta say. And there's the Warner Brothers Silver right there, just to show that they own the damn thing. So buy some shiny SilverHawks, guys. They're not going to last. Trust me. All right, let's talk about this.
Well, before you go, since you're showing SilverHawks, this is my 12-inch
3PO.
3PO, and that's back when I'm surprised it still has any kind of shine.
Dude,
whatsoever.
You should be wearing gloves now that you're holding that thing, man. Seriously, or wipe him down.
It's on a shelf with the 12-inch version of R2. I always wanted a Vader and a Luke, but those were hard to find back in the day.
100%.
So
let's talk about the train wreck that is Tomb Raider.
Okay, so I've watched it. Let me see here if I can expand this.
Yeah, just expand it. That's easier.
There we go.
There you go.
So I've watched it. Well, you know what? Let's play the trailer and then
on record saying I never saw the trailer, and that didn't give me much hope. Like that, there was a lot there. So my brother has the latest couple games, and they are violent as hell. Like they are absolutely ridiculously violent. But I like the way they're crafting the legend of Lara Croft. Obviously, the first Lara Croft was back, when PlayStation and everything looked like Tesla trucks. You know what I mean? Like it was all square stuff. Even her boobs were like
Yeah.
triangles. You don't want to get too close to Laura in the first version because she could literally stab you with her
It's
breasts.
you remember Madonna in the early 90s?
The
Same,
cones, the
the
cone
same
breasts. Yeah,
cone
yeah.
bras.
I argue that these can actually kill you. But yeah, is it anything like that? Does it have that gritty, the gritty, violent nature, or is it kind of
It's pretty violent. Yeah, I would say it's pretty violent. One of the bigger kind of shots taken at it was how Lara Croft was rendered. Like they say like she looks like a dude,
really?
and
Didn't look like it. It didn't look that.
I didn't get that. I will say though that for me, one of the major things is I find the animation is inconsistent.
Yeah,
So
I
when
could tell. I could tell
characters
just by the
turn,
trailer.
yeah. So when characters turn, it just like they do the action. The action actually works better than the quiet moments,
Sure,
if that
sure.
makes any sense.
Yeah,
But
no.
there are times where like certain angles, like they're just not proficient in animating all the characters
That's a
in
sign of
certain ways.
a low budget and directors who couldn't care less.
Mhm.
Yeah, that inconsistency like that is absolutely in today's days and age when everything's being like you're not even like you're a lot of things are being done on the computer. So like there's no excuse for not being able to get those proper turns. That's unfortunate. That really is unfortunate. What would you give it though on an overall scale? Like
I'm on episode 5.
and what are there, 7 or
I think
8?
there's 8.
Okay.
I think there's 8.
Is it leading to a
Um,
climax or are they episodic?
no, they're episodic. Every episode plays like a level of a video game,
No.
right?
Okay.
So, she's got to it's woven into the story, but like,
Sure.
oh, I've got to cross a river with logs, or I've got to swing from, you know, from a high point to a low point to escape a cave that I'm in. And like Haley Atwell is Lara Croft, and I love Haley Atwell.
Yeah, well, I love it well too, but
But it's like it it's one of those ones where I gave it your test and I went past the 3 episode rule.
okay. So
And I was like, I'm gonna finish it just to see how it ends.
now you have to finish it, right?
Yeah, like
you've gone past the point of no return. You're
it's like I'm time committed at this point.
yeah, yeah. You just but hopefully you don't come off of it thinking I wasted 6 hours of my life.
Well, no, because I never think of stuff like that, because if anything, I'm gonna be like, well, that just means storytelling wise, I know what I don't want to do story wise.
How long are the episodes? Are they
That's a
45
good
minutes?
question. That's a good question. I'm not sure.
Did they feel like 45 minutes?
Well, I fell asleep during one of them.
Oh, she
You know, I've been working hard, Jay. I've been working hard. No, it was it it didn't grab me, but I'm gonna see how it ends anyway. Yeah, we'll see how.
Well,
It
I
goes.
mean, like you kind of got to, as you said, you kind of got to now, right? You kind of in for a penny, in for a pound.
Yeah.
Um,
Aaron says he just binged Tomb Raider. Thought it was pretty good. All right, well then that means I have something to look forward to.
let's hope so.
Yeah.
Is it Trinity? Is it Trinity? Is the main bad guys, or is it just or is it just like random?
No, it's without giving anything away, it's the classic thing where like the main antagonist
Oh,
is
really? Okay, you don't have
tied.
to. I know who you're talking about. You don't have to talk
Okay,
about it
I'll
anymore.
leave it. There we go.
So it is an ancient evil coming from the depths. So interesting.
There's a little bit of that. There's a lot of like mysticism and type stuff.
Interesting.
Yeah. Helion says, speaking of Tomb Raider, the recent trilogy is on sale on stream for the 2013, 2015, and 2018 trilogy.
Yeah. Funny thing about Steam is they had to change their terms of service to acknowledge that you actually aren't buying anything. You're just renting it.
Oh, it's so bad. To be honest with you, buy physical, everybody, because you're just renting. You're buying the license to kind of hang on to it for as long as they say you can use it.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Absolutely nuts. Well,
Before we go though, I don't know if you have seen this, but have you seen the new Eternia Skelcon figure?
yes, yes. They've
And have you seen the packaging?
I caught a glimpse of it today on Manuel Eduardo Caritas, Roy Juarez's IG. Are there some Easter eggs in there that we should know of?
Is this what you saw?
I saw again. I caught a glimpse of it. So, um, looking at it further, that's some crazy stuff. Oh, hello. Is oh wow.
Do you want me to zoom in?
Yeah, if you could, because that's obviously Stratos, but his girlfriend's there. That's awesome. That's crazy.
Bottom corner.
Yeah, what's her name again? Somebody help me.
Let's see if it says it in the description.
No, it won't.
No,
these are the uh um
that's a
what
great
it's called.
shot though.
These are the
Great
teases.
shot.
It's Delora, Stratos' sister. Yeah, yeah, that's
Okay.
Delora. Great stuff. Wow,
Yeah.
cool. So hopefully we'll be getting Delora in the Masterverse. That's awesome. The Skelecons are crazy, man. They are some crazy new figures, and it's amazing they're coming to Masterverse. And great stuff. Yeah. Yeah, thanks for showing me that, Steve.
No, no
That's
worries. It came across when I was doing some research, and I was like, "Oh, this is interesting," and because everything just seems to be popping out right now.
Yep. It's the end of the season, and because of Comic-Con, New York Comic Con, they're taking the opportunities to bring out some product line announcements just before the end of the season and leading into 2025. We got a lot. We got a whole host of different um, Master Universe releases just last week. So
Mhm.
yeah, like all the companies are as you know, Loyal Subjects is going to be talking about Popples. They're going to be talking about
Right.
My Buddy. They're going to be talking about Mask. They're going to be talking about My Pet Monsters. So I'm hoping that we see all of those at San Diego Comic Con this weekend. So yeah, guys, definitely stay tuned because we're going to have a lot of news coming up soon for all that, and of
Oh
course,
yeah.
comic books is just getting exciting. So yeah, definitely stay tuned here to
There'll be a
Comics
ton of
Channel
news.
for
We'll have
all
a
of
ton of news for you guys to take deep dives into next week because New York Comic Con will be over, and there'll be a ton of toy announcements. There'll be a ton of comic book announcements. So it'll be great. It'll be a lot of fun. Next week's show should be a banger.
Absolutely. And if I may, Steve, I
Yes.
wanted to give everybody a reminder if you want to throw that up. Guys, don't forget, we still have 6 days left. And it's coming to the wire, but Atrium issues 1 through 5 is almost at the final few days. They're up to $1,947 of a $1,089 goal, and we got some really cool stuff coming up. So don't forget, 6 days left to go. Please check out Atrium. Of course, we have the man himself, Steve, right here, who wrote this along with his co-writers and some really great stuff. Steve, we're coming down to it. What are your thoughts? Any new stickers or extra pledges that we can look forward to?
I'll put it out there right now. We're in talks to get a really kind of cool keychain made where
Sweet.
it's basically the box that you can see in the second cover that holds the heart. We're getting keychains
That is
made
so cool.
of the box.
That is awesome. This little Rubik's cube right here.
Yeah, that
This-
little beauty right there.
That is awesome. I love it. And yeah, man, this is a really thrilling story. Vampires, dude. Lot of great stuff. And of course, we had a great talk with just last weekend actually. It was last week, I think it was, Steve. Yeah, we had So-Called Life.
With Mark Maya, yeah.
Yeah, we had a great sit down with him, and possibly we'll be doing a crossover
Yes.
sometime soon. So it's going to be a lot of fun, guys. And just looking at some of these great. I mean, why wouldn't you pick this up? It's an amazing book, and a lot of ways to support. If you want to go for all in, though, you definitely got to get these packs. $45 for the print bundle 4 and 5, and definitely just go for the whole thing. $130 for Atrium 1 through 5, and you can get all the print covers plus all the digitals, and it's a lot of fun, guys. So we are only 6 days away from the final leg, and we really want to end strong with this, guys. Please check out Atrium on Kickstarter. You guys won't regret it. Steve, congratulations once again. It's going to be a lot of fun getting this out.
And of course, before we go, Jay, I'm going to show, if it's all right with you, I'm going to show everyone a trailer that we did for it.
Let's do it. I'm excited.
Come on now.
Press play. It's at the top right-hand corner, top left.
There we go.
Oh. Yeah, I love the beating it right at the end. That's beautiful. Awesome. That's awesome. I'm looking forward to it. It's very, very exciting. Guys, please check out Atrium on Kickstarter. It's in the last 6 days, and of course, they need all the help they can get. Steve, what an amazing night.
This is great. Gotta thank everyone who came into the chat. We had a great time.
80s, dude. 80s.
You can't go wrong with the 80s. And everyone's showing love for the Chris Reeve Superman. Thanks again for everyone who tuned in. Thanks for everyone who joined the chat. We really appreciate it. Without you guys, our show is not what it is. So thanks again for all your support. We really appreciate it.
100%. And guys, just as a reminder, keep your thoughts and well wishes for everybody who's affected by the hurricanes this last couple of weeks. The entire hurricane belt has been hit hard. A lot of people displaced, and man, it's just absolutely terrible. North Carolina got hit really, really hard.
Mm-hmm.
Florida was kind of spared, but not really. A lot of significant damage in those areas, and even parts of Texas were hit. That whole hurricane belt was affected. So if you're interested in doing some donations, LJR, as I keep mentioning, Lazy Game Reviews, he's got a donation page up right now for help from the skies. And again, in a lot of ways, they're only getting aid from airdrops. So you definitely want to help that way. And if you're thinking about heading down there to help, please don't. A lot of people are telling me that you should just go check in with a volunteer group and see if you can help that way, because anybody who actually goes there without any direction, half the time you actually end up getting stuck there and you end up needing resources yourself. So it's actually a really bad situation down there. So, but I wanted to just give that shout out again. A lot of things have been happening in my life and a lot of people's lives right now. So stay close. Hug the people you love, man. Like I gotta say it that way. Just check up on your family, your friends. Your brother, your sister, your cousin, your best friend. I started saying that during the pandemic, and it's more so important now than ever. Yeah. So yeah, guys, just stay safe and be well, man, because it's crazy out there.
Absolutely. Totally echoing what you're saying. And it's okay to talk if something's bothering you.
Please
let someone know.
Please talk. Yeah.
No, you don't have to go through anything alone.
Yeah, we're all here for each other. There's a community, and the reason we're a community is we all help each other, guys, right?
Anyway. Absolutely. Yep. All right. So from Steve, peace out, Andy. All right. Have a good one.